Our training is open.
You make a screenshot, as I suspect. Yeah.
Okay. So Zoom gives me the options. I've got it, or leave the meeting.
Yes.
What
Yes.
I do?
What do you want?
I think someone of you already starts the record button. This meeting is going to be recorded.
Yeah, it's running.
Yeah.
Yes. And we will send you this record, and you can download this record after first day and second day. Yeah, and have this recording. Of course, it's only our internal recording, so without publishing in a public space and so on. Yeah, I think, yeah.
Clear.
Okay, and we can start, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, Wolfgang. Yeah.
Hi, Wolfgang.
Hi.
Hi, good morning. Sorry,
Morning.
my computer forced me to make a reboot. That's why I dialed into a mobile phone. Sorry, your cell phone.
Okay.
Excuse me, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
I have troubles with internet connection, and it can be one small problem. I only inform you.
Yeah.
About
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So can we start then?
Yes.
Yes.
Let's go.
I think. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And maybe I can show.
Natalia, will you share your screen?
Yeah. Yes, I can share my screen, and we can show you some presentation. I just one moment.
Oh, Sandra.
Oh,
Sandra.
hi, Sandra.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Oh,
We are still missing Marie and Nelly are still missing. Miguel is not making it. Okay, so I'm going to just take the introduction part and then hand you into the expert hands of Maria and Natalia. And so welcome to our first pilot on Agile Mindset 2-day training. And we all had met last year. For many of us were there in the collaboration in an Agile.
Anita.
As a continuation of the, yes, do you hear me? Am I audible?
It was some pause, but now it's okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I hope my internet will cooperate. But luckily, we are all amongst colleagues. So whilst we are going to run through all the slides, it's going to be a quick run through. Before we go into the content, I want to first say a big thank you to Birgit for being really the driving force of this, getting this training together, holding it, and being such a pillar of support together with her team for graphics, for logistics, for everything. Thank you, Birgit.
You're welcome.
It's
Thank you.
Always
a pleasure.
And my next big thanks is to Natalia and Maria for taking this on, for testing it out with this pilot content, and also for both of them to be delivering it in English, which is not their first language, and it's the first time. And that's a big thank you for their courage and spirit.
Thanks.
Absolutely. Can we hear that?
Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you to all of you colleagues for finding the time to be our guinea pigs and also to expand your own toolbox and your own skill set. And we would like you really to be, as we said, it's a pilot training and we need all the feedback and all the critique and all the kudos. And your reviews, when you do that, that will be part of us to build up on. But at the end of the day, we will also do a debrief where we would like you to give us your feedback so that we can get better at the next version of it. So that's in terms of thank yous. Next slide, Natalia. Oh yeah, of course, Natalia and Maria and myself will be your trainers. Birgit, as I understand, you are not participating, but you are there as a pillar of support in the background. Do I get that right? And we have a Miro board that Natalia has just sent you the link to. And as I was looking at this slide, I thought, what do we do with this slide? We normally want to show this slide to our customers, but right now we are talking to Coverdalers. So what I would like you to do is go to the Miro board, to this slide, and put a little star or an arrow on which part of the world do you find yourself in. And then we'll go into our introduction rounds, even though most of us probably know each other. Does everybody have the link of the Miro in your chat box? And you can choose any shape you want. Is everybody familiar with the Miro board?
Yeah, who is not familiar, I can show you. You can just duplicate this beautiful star and move.
Yes.
And also on the left part, you see the toolbox, and you could choose any shape you want and write the shape here. So now maybe we have to make this map.
And I can make the star smaller.
Yes, and stars smaller, yes. How you can make the board bigger, so how you can zoom in, zoom out the board. At first, at your mouse, you have this, if you have a mouse, you have this wheel. And when you do you see, I move the wheel and the board becomes zoom in and zoom out. And if you don't have a wheel, you have on the right bottom part of the Miro board, this plus and minus signs. Minus you zoom out and plus you zoom in. Yeah, do you see what I...
Because you will need to use the Miro board for your exercises, etc. So we're just using this moment to put down.
Oh,
Has
sorry,
everybody managed to put down? Oh, the board is moving.
No, I just froze now the board.
Okay.
Yeah, and to move space, not things, but space, you can use the right bottom of your mouse. When you push right bottom and move your mouse, you press the right button and move your mouse. You see that the all space will move. And if you if you press your left button on some object, you can move this object. So left mouse moves the objects, right mouse moves the background. Easy.
Has everybody managed?
More or less.
Put a little star or some other sign.
Someone create something. It's interesting. Okay.
Yes, that's something that happens with the Miro board, that if things are not locked, then they can be. Okay. Has everybody placed a star somewhere? Pranjal, I'm missing you.
There's the Indian star.
Corner of the world.
My Miro page is loading very slowly because of the internet.
Okay, so I'm going to put a star for you, Pranjal.
Thanks, thank you.
Great. Okay, maybe we
can. Has everybody managed?
More or less.
Yeah. Evgeny, I could put 2 stars in St. Petersburg, yeah?
I was hoping to have a star on further west, but Nelly hasn't joined us. And would have been nice to see the expanse of it. But okay.
It is like
all
it is.
visiting. all visiting stars from the globe, should we come back to, has everybody managed? It's just to have a little fun, no stress.
Fine.
Okay, so we can go
3,
next.
4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Yes. Next. Most of us know each other, so we want to do a very quick round of your name in case if somebody doesn't, and your journey in Coverdale, where we know where you are working from. You can put your name down on one of the tags provided there. But I would like you to take turns, just whoever wants to start off and pass it on to the next person. Who would like to start to introduce themselves? Name, journey in Coverdale, any bit that you want to share. I can go first. So my name is Anita. I'm really happy to be co-trainer here with Maria and Natalia in a really long time. And this journey for us in Coverdale, India this year is the start of a new chapter, which we started since last year. And there's a lot of energy, and I'm really happy that I'm into my 5th year with Coverdale. Thank you. I will pass it to Evgeny.
I'm afraid we lost Evgeny. Yeah, Anita, can
Sorry, I
you
have troubles
Then
with
I
the
go-
internet connection. Cannot put my name.
That's okay. We'll do it for you.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, some do it. Okay. Yeah, great.
Okay, Evgeny, you want to say a quick word about whatever you feel like today, whether it's about Coverdale or yourself?
I'm well today, but not well good. I slept not very good.
Oh, I hope you will feel a little energized by some of our exercises, for sure. Who do you pass it to?
Yeah, I have troubles with connection of internet, and it is it
But we can hear you.
Disturb my work here. Yeah. So
We do hear you, Evgeny.
good.
Okay. You want to pass it to somebody next?
To Marius.
Thank you, Evgeny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mario is my name. I'm quite sure we all met each other somewhere in some sessions already. This is my 2nd official week in Coverdale.
Hey.
Hey, yeah. But already started last year, as you know. We had our conference calls and our Stammtisch and our training sessions, which I really much appreciate. I look forward to the next 1.5 days for me. I have another kind of client appointment, a co-creation workshop tomorrow afternoon. So I will, I think I will be off at around noon, 12 o'clock or something. But I really look forward to see you all and to the training and the content and the exercises that we're going to do. So thanks for preparing everything. I'm really looking forward, appreciate tomorrow. And I pass it on to Sandra. Good morning.
Morning, everybody. Thank you, Marius. Sandra, my name. I'm with Coverdale, Germany, and situated in Frankfurt. And I spent the last 4 weeks in Spain. So at the moment, I'm trying to get back not only my body, but my mind and reconnect to my life here. So we had a really good time and sun and the sea and hiking. So yeah, I'm really looking forward for this training. I'm really like it that you developed it together. And so I'm very curious what you prepared for us. And yes, I'm yeah, looking forward, as I said. Okay, and I hand over to Natalia.
Oh, thank you, Sandra. Yeah, and I am a new trainer in Coverdale, yeah, but I have about 1 year or maybe more. And last year was very thoughtful for me because it was full of this development with Birgit, Anita, Mary, and Waltraud when we prepared this training. And preparation feel me this spirit of Coverdale, and I really love this atmosphere and this approach, and I love to be with you as a big international team. And I will pass to Waltraud.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Waltraud. I'm situated here in Coverdale, Austria, in Graz. Yeah, I was also part of these teams working together for this workshop, but I choose the part of a participant this time, just to sit from the other side. Yeah, and I also look forward working with you together, having time together with you. Thank you, and I will pass on to Birgit.
Thank you, Waltraud. Yeah, I'm Birgit. Welcome to everybody. We have finished now a journey starting at the last international meeting, where we started a group who is interested in agile development. And what you can see now is the first product of this group, which will be continuing to work. And I'm really curious what came out from this project. I have seen the last version of the training, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that everything goes well, and wish the trainer team good luck for the next 2 days. I'm really looking forward to see it from the back seat. And I hand over now to Wolfgang.
Yeah, thank you, Birgit. Good morning, everyone. I really appreciate that you spent so much time in preparation and giving us the course. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm now for 26 years with Coverdale, and I think most of you already have some personal contact. And I'm just, yeah, actually I've been in Austria last weekend and for skiing. So I just came back a little bit tired, with the muscles a little bit like, I don't know, need a rest. Yeah, so still didn't really have a breakfast yet. So, but I'm still here. So I'm happy to be here. So thank you very much. And I hand over to Werner.
Thank you, Wolfgang. Yeah, Werner, I'm located here in Upper Austria. It's a little bit stormy outside. The weekend was perfect, as I already said, that I was also in the mountains, but not climbing up and skiing down with the ski touring equipment. It was really nice this weekend. I'm now with Coverdale for 2 years. Enjoyed very much, and I'm really looking forward for these 2 days, thinking about Agile mindset, learning more about that. And yes, also have to apologize that tomorrow at 2 o'clock I have a Canvas business model workshop to do, so I will leave it to tomorrow. And I would pass to Klaus.
Thank you, Werner. Hi guys, good morning calling from Vienna. My journey, I don't know. Working for Coverdale exclusively since 2015, partner of Coverdale Austria since 2017, partner of Birgit, as you know, since 2005. Yeah, partner. And the last 2 years were very digital years, and this is my digital absolutely, as a German native speaker, my digital challenge, a digital training in English as a participant. And I'm let's see what's going on. Thank you. And I pass over to who? Pranjal.
Thank you, Klaus. So my name is Pranjal. I'm from Coverdale, India, and it's going to be a year. I have to check exactly when I joined Coverdale, but yeah, it's been a very rich journey, and this year looks to be very exciting. Thank you for this opportunity. I find we're exploring Agile as a team, or implementing OKRs, etc., in our team, and to get into an insight of the mindset would be a great timing also for us. So really looking forward to this. Unfortunately, I too tomorrow have another online engagement at around 2 p.m. For the afternoon session. So I will be unfortunately able to be there. I hope to come back for the last part, for the last review, and hear all the wonderful checkouts at that time. Have we heard from Dimitri?
Hello, hello everybody. I'm in Moscow now, and this is the beginning of new year, and actually we have a very long first week, because we celebrate New Year more than about 8 or 9 days. It's a holidays, yeah, and our country just begin to start to work, to do something. So it's for me a good beginning of this year with this nice training. I'm looking forward to be 2 full days with you guys. So thank you, and I hope I and we receive a lot of interesting information about the Agile mindset. And who to whom I have to pass my
Mary.
Mary.
Yeah, thanks. I'm here. So I start I couldn't say that it was the work, because it was a great fun for me, and I'm with you from last year, but sometimes it seems to me that I know everybody during a more big period, and I feel myself here as in a big family. Thank you about your conversations and your friendly atmosphere. So as far as I understood, we are finished our introduction, yeah, or somebody have no pass?
No,
okay.
that's good.
So
I
I pass to you
Thank you.
as a finish.
Thank you, Maria. And before we make you do a little more work on the Miro board, I need to apologize. I just put Waltraud into the participant role, that I completely forgot she was a part of this team, and I forgot to mention her specifically in my thanks. Apologies, Waltraud. I made you fully a participant. Thank you, my Stammtisch partner. How could I forget you? Okay. So we will do a quick check-in about wishes and expectations to see what you bring with you, and then we can see what we can deliver and what might or might not be a part of this training. So all of you familiar, we go to the Miro board, take which Natalia is sharing with you. There's an empty board there. Take a sticky note. Put down anything that is on your mind. If you come in with wishes and expectations, if there are none, then you can also put that down. And then we can just we take 2 minutes for everybody to do it. And once you've put your note, 1 or more notes down, if you can give us a virtual sign with a raised hand, if that works, or in the chat saying that you're done, that would be great.
And remember, you can find sticker on the left toolbox. You see the sticker I just show in my screen. Yeah, you can find the sticker and choose the color, your preferable color, and just put on this board.
Thank you, Natalia.
And maybe I can stop sharing now for a moment.
Yes,
Give you.
and we can all be on the Miro board and see it there. I see one person still writing. Has everybody else put in there? Then we could just go to that, stay on the slide, and we'll just read through it quickly to see does it touch upon what we are planning to do also. So I start at the left-hand corner here to see how the topic mindset works in a training course and how to handle the topic mindset itself. And I think we are together with whoever has written this because it's really an exploration also for us to see how do you address this whole thing of not just agile, but also mindset, not specifically tools as such. So it's going to be a learning discovery for all of us. Pranjal, I see your notes. Thanks for putting your name there. Learning to get into the agile mindset as individuals and teams, and what are the systems and conditions where agile can work. So I think the first one, which is what is the agile mindset, like to begin to identify the principles of it so that you know when you are agile and when you are not. That is what we're definitely going to look into, and also into what systems and conditions best work for agility, and when is a more structured approach needed. To know the new design that we will show you, unroll it over the next 2 days to get more understanding on the topic. Also to have fun. Yes, we'd like to have fun together with you, and some of the exercises are a lot of fun. So that should be coming through. And it's to work together in the international team. That's where I think the richness also of what I was mentioning, to have your critical feedback and experience really to build a product for all of us together is very crucial for all of us. New ideas and approaches that are here and that will come out from these 2 days also, because the learning, I think, happens in every training both ways. Thank you. To learn about tools, the ideal process, and how does the training look like, examples, exercises. So you're going to be able to do that, not just through the 2 days, but also through the documentation that we will be sending you and this Miro board itself. So I really think those expectations can work, will be addressed. And exercises to train an agile mindset. Yes, so we have the first day is full of many tasks. specifically, and I think before I go into it on this sheet, I'll go into the next. Maybe Natalia, do you want to share the screen again, or should we stay on the Miro board? I can run through it quickly on the Miro board, maybe, if that's
I'm
easier.
showing
You're
the
already
screen.
sharing. You're sharing. Yes.
I am sharing, yes.
Thank you. So our goals for these 2 days are basically threefold. The first one is to understand what are Agile values and principles and how are they distinctive from other ways. So to get an understanding and clarity on that. Second step is to then develop awareness. It's more about the self. How are we interacting with people, with processes, in environments? What behaviors and principles are at play? So to get awareness about the self and about the others in the small groups that you will be working in. And our Coverdale reviews are, of course, go a long way in building this awareness and deepening this awareness, not just about ourselves, but from the learning of the others. And the last one is then from the mindset, how do you adapt your behavior? How do you translate this mindset into behaviors that then influence Agile teams, Agile leadership, Agile working together? So those are the goals of our training. Next, Natalia. And in terms of content, what are the different topics that we're going to touch upon in the next 2 days? So we are basically going to look at being Agile and how do you use Agile methods and what does that mean in terms of mindset and behavior. We're going to look at Agile values. And on day 1, we are basically going to go through all the principles regarding people, the Agile principles that are regarding people. And on day 2, we will have a full long exercise where we are going to put the practice and learnings from day 1 about people and about work into practice. We will look at the Agile meta principles on day 2, and we will look at the one specific tool of Agile leadership, which is coaching and questions. And so we're going to practice that on day 2 as one specific item of Agile leadership. This is our usual thing. You know that to be able to put our hands in, we really have to not be afraid and go in there and make our hands dirty, break an egg, do whatever is needed. I don't need to reiterate this. I think I'm in company of good sports. The next one is where one of you put it in your expectations, which is to have fun. So that let's all try to have fun together. And any questions on the content and aim of the training before I show you the agenda? No, I hear silence. So next one then. Yes, this is again, nothing that you see, we have prepared the design as how we would like to deliver it into the market and into clients also. And I was just telling Natalia and Maria this morning, but right now we are doing the pilot with Coverdalers from 26 years to 2 weeks of experience. So I'm just going to, this is what we do in our standard review. And that is an integral part of Agile principles also, that you will see how the Coverdale review process actually in place for over 50 years is an integral part also of the Agile principles and tools that we can use. And here we have our schedule. This is set to Central European time. So Russians and Indians make note to change it into yours. We are right now at almost at the end of the introduction, a little 5-6 minutes over time. I'm going to hand it to Natalia as soon as I've done running through it. We're going to have 20-minute coffee breaks, 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon, and an hour's lunch break. We might, depending, because we are fewer than we expected to be, we were meant to be 12, and now we are 9. So we might work in 2 groups instead of 3, which means our reviews and general sessions might be shorter. And if we make any changes in the timing of the lunch and coffee breaks, we will keep you informed. And as I understand, all of you will be there for the first day fully. And some of you are going to be missing in the afternoon on day 2. Do I get that right? Yes.
Yeah, as I understand, yeah, Marius and Werner will leave us tomorrow after lunch, yeah?
And Pranjal,
And
3 of
Pranjal.
them. Yes. And
Mhm.
Dimitri, not Dimitri, sorry, Evgeny, we take note of the fact that your internet is a little dicey, and we'll do our best to work with that. But don't leave us, just keep coming back, even if you keep getting dropped out into our sessions. Yeah, anything else about technical? One last thing. Yes, we will work in 2 breakout rooms. Natalia, I think.
Yes.
Did we?
Yes.
Yeah. 2. And Maria will be sending us into our breakout rooms at the beginning of tasks whenever we need to, and we'll be bringing you back into the general session. So she's going to be our Scotty, beaming us back and forth between different sessions. That's it for my side, and I pass it to Natalia. Thank you.
Thank you
and a
very
big
much.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you. And this schedule will be on the Miro board, and if we make some changes, we can do it here on the Miro board. So, and if you have some questions or some propositions, you can also put it on Miro board and on the sticky notes, and we can see it. Yeah, for example. And okay, let me do some short introduction about the place of our topic, Agile mindset, because the first question when we come to some new information, new training, maybe the first question in your mind is why? Why it's important? Why I will spend my time to explore this? And our first input is about why and when Agile is important. And do you familiar with the Stacy matrix? Just wave your hand or mark plus in the chat box who knows the Stacy matrix, who work with this matrix. Okay, I see Sandra. No, yeah, who? Okay, so we can see on our every task, every system we have, every goal we have through 2 dimensions. The first dimension is about our agreement about what we want, what is the thing, and we have some things that we agree with, and some things we not agree, and we have a lot of options and a lot of a lot of variability of what is could be high uncertainty. And also we have the second dimension, how we can reach this. And also it's a scale. On the one part of the scale, we certainly know how we can reach this. And on the other part of the scale, we don't know how to reach this. And let me give some example. And I really ask you to join and give your examples. How do you understand this? So if we agree what we want, and we certainly know what we can do and what we have to do, it's a simple system. For example, brushing our teeth every morning is extremely simple task, yeah, or ride our bicycle or ride our car to some common place, yeah, from our home to our work is a simple task. And yeah, and okay, one moment. Yeah, I see that not everyone brings with me now. Yeah, and also now I show you my screen, so you can follow me in a Miro board, or you can switch with Alt tab or Command tab if you have a Macintosh to Zoom presentation. So because now I present this slide. And now it's also was an example of simple system. Yeah. So I get a message in chat that no, some people maybe don't follow me, and Mary noticed this. And it was very simple task, yeah, that we know what we want. We want that everyone will follow me, and we know how to reach it. It's simple system. Okay, complicated system. Sandra noticed that she was in Spain, beautiful travel, and who was on a travel on these winter holidays? Can you write on a chat or say by the voice? Marius, where are you? In which place?
I was in the Allgäu, in the down south in Germany.
Oh.
For a couple of days in the mountains, actually.
Ah, in the mountains, you're skiing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was complicated getting there.
Complicated. Why it was complicated?
Well, we needed to arrange some logistics, that was not quite clear how to get up to the hut. So we needed to have like calls, and then it was like complicated reaching, you know, the vendor in order to pull us to the hut up into the mountains. So that was, I felt it quite complicated, but fun.
Yeah, thank you very much for this example. Yeah, this travel, every travel is complicated thing, because you want, what do you want? But you know what do you want, but some things can change, and you could be flexible in this. And sometimes you don't know exactly how do you reach this exact place. Yeah, it can be changed because you are first time in this place. But you have this some kind of certainty, some kind of understanding, because it's a common place. You have Google, internet, and your friends were there, and maybe you have a guide. You have already booked your hotel, and so on. So it's complicated thing.
Yeah.
And if we go further, what is the complex thing? If we continue this metaphor with the journey, when our journey from complicated become complex, when we lost our agreement and our certainty. Maybe someone.
I think a complex thing could be planning planning a around the world trip in these pandemic days, because you never know what happens on the next day in the specific country you want to go.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, perfect example. Yeah, and everybody understand. And house. If you, for example, planned to visit some Tonga Island yesterday, yeah, it's a house. And yeah, I ask you to pray for all these people who was on this place and near this place. And okay, if we see on these systems, we know exactly how to manage simple system, how to manage even complicated system. But for complex and chaotic system, we don't have the certain tools from the classic management. And this is area for new management approach. And Agile was invented, was developed when the complex systems become more and more in our world. Yeah, because maybe you know about VUCA world. Yeah. So since middle of the last century, appreciate to internet and all IT systems, our world become more and more complicated, and many developers from the different part of the world start to find the best solution how we can manage things in this complex and chaotic world. And they invented some approaches, some frameworks that in the beginning of our century, in 2000 first year, was gathered, and some common things was discovered, and this approach was named as Agile. and Agile Manifesto was written. And now we want to invite you in some discussion. So now I give you some short introduction why is Agile, why we're talking about Agile, but what is Agile is our question to you. And now we want to invite you in breakout rooms and discuss these 3 questions. Even if you don't know anything about Agile, but what do you think when you think about complex and chaotic systems? Yeah, what is Agile? What was invented? Yeah, why do we need Agile, and when do we need Agile? So now we will send you to 2 breakout rooms, and please exchange your ideas and document group results in this workspace. So now we have workspace for first group and workspace for second group here. So they are ready. Put some stickers here and be ready to present your findings in the next general session after 15 minutes.
Welcome to the breakout rooms.
Is just checking.
Yeah, now they are open. You could find a blue button somewhere on the screen to have invitation to get invitation to the room. Okay, I see that
I think
everybody.
they're all gone. They've all
gone,
been
but
sent.
I
to
see
the
that
room.
Evgeny is just didn't go to the breakout
Yes,
room.
Evgeny is the only one.
Evgeny, are you hear us?
Now he's in.
Oh,
He's in.
super,
Now he's
super. So now I have a pause of our
recording again.
Of course, of course.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome.
And okay, now each group has about 3-5 minutes to make some short presentation. What is Agile and why do we need Agile? And I'm sharing a screen to show everybody what you post in your working space. But your workspace is just draft for you, so you don't obligate to use it, of course. And which group want to start? Which group want to be first?
I can go first with group 1 if the others
Okay.
don't mind. Are we actually
Great.
all back in the general sessions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Sorry. So I didn't see. Good. So I'm going to start. Our group is Pranjal, Dimitri, Waltraud, and myself, and we followed pretty strict the task in order to try to find answers for the 3 questions that you gave us. So we thought, what is actually Agile? We started with an attitude. It's a mindset and it's an attitude in order to think differently in terms of the task and the challenge that we all face. It's a mindset how to work and deal with, in particular, with unpredictable situations, we think. So nothing that can really be foreseen. You cannot really predict different challenges and situations. You cannot see the path that you need to follow. So you need a certain kind of mindset in order to find the right answers for the questions that this challenge is going to give you. This is a step-by-step approach in order to slightly continue into the right direction. So once there is a failure or a mistake, this attitude in order to be work Agile is not that you see or you find the scapegoat, but more or less see this as an opportunity to learn from. So try things out, experience, try to start an iterative process to go one step further, and then there might be a mistake, and then you go back again and see, maybe we need to change directions and go another step forward. It's very much self-organized, and also in terms of what is that roles change in the process. So it's not the classic project lead, and then there is, the leader that gives you, in a classic kind of management style, the direction to go forward. It's more like self-organized, and there's also totally different roles in comparison to a classical project management. why do we need agile agile methods or agile process? It's how to handle uncertain and unclear situations better according to the challenges and the environment that we all work in. It prepares you for uncertainty, and the world outside is not within our control any longer. So there is no chance to put brackets around the tasks. This is way too complex. And we simply sometimes just don't know where the next steps is going to be made. So it's not in our control, and that's why we need agile methods in order to find a way through the jungle. The when is we need agile methods in order to be very quick and very fast, most likely adapting to the new world outside our project. The influences that come along with once we move forward in our process. It's unclear, it's unstable, it's volatile. So we actually need to quickly adapt to certain circumstances within our project and the new situations that change quite quickly. And we also need to focus on the customer pretty precise. So we need to think back from the customer and derive what is actually needed in the process in order to develop products and processes and whatever is on our desk. But the focus is more like to 100% customer oriented. Yeah, that's actually about it, what we discussed. And any other comments from the group, maybe?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
From the groups. Great, thank you very much. Okay, and now, yeah, I can invite the second group. So, yeah.
Let me present what we prepared. You saw we did a lot talking.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit less writing. Yeah,
Right.
we were interestingly talking about the differences between how we could use the Coverdale Zielscheibe. How is it in English? The target.
Ames grid.
Ames grid.
Yeah.
How is it called?
Ames grid.
Ames grid. How we could how this Ames grid could match to the agility. But first of all, we made a kind of a conclusion. We said Agile is a mode how we act or how somebody acts in a complex environment, but not exactly knowing what happens next. But he has a clear purpose, and now it comes to the Ames grid, a clear goal, and has a clear view what the results can be expected. So meaning that the purpose is clear and the goal is clear, but we had a discussion about are the goals really clear when working Agile, which we would like to offer here also as a room for discussion. Purpose is clear, is the goal clear as well, or can the goal be shifted to working Agile? And one thing we also said, working Agile means that the mindset has always to be being flexible, flexible on changing situation, and being customer oriented, knowing not exactly what the customer, maybe the customer also does not know what he wants, but being oriented and being flexible, always targeted to the purpose and question mark the goals in an uncertain environment. Yeah. And we had the pandemic as a guiding and leading topic, how we could use this topic by talking about agility and Wolfgang, how did you name it, the other way of working?
Sorry, in Germany, we also use, when we talk about transformation, we also talk about effectuation mode. It's a different approach. And then we had the idea and the pandemic situation on the short-term perspective. You have to work in the agile model, like to be flexible, try to organize whatever PCR tests or mask or whatever, or do some short approaches. But on a long-term perspective, you need different approach because you're like on the strategic view, you don't really know which kind of approach is successful. So it's more like an effectuation mode. It's more like to try things out, try which is working, which will be successful. So this certainly is also, I would say, similar to the Agile attitude, to being flexible and see what is working well or not. So more or less, I think the two working style fits very well together. Yeah. But it's, for me, it's a different kind of perspective, and the strategic point of view is different, and with the time frame as well.
Yeah. Thank you very much for second group. Yeah, just applause. And thank you very much for so comprehensive definition. What is Agile? And we really can run through this quickly, because you taught all information needed to understand what is Agile, when is Agile, and where is Agile. Yeah, and so Agile is name of the all approaches. Yeah, and the specific frameworks with name Scrum, Kanban, design thinking, OKRs, and so on is a part of the Agile. So all of them are Agile, and this approach is based on the Agile mindset. So Agile mindset is the core thing that created all other principles, values, doings, actings, and so on. And we have some meta principles of Agile, and these principles is equal than Coverdale principles, as you taught, as we taught on the very beginning of the training. Yeah, so Agile, to be Agile is to take feedback from your action, make some learnings, improve, continuously improve you, and act and give next feedback, and so on. So be iterative in your development. And we develop our training in the same way, and it's Agile principles. And Mary, please.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, what do you think when we thinking about agile mindset? How everybody could understand is you do something with some agile mindset or not? And we did find this metaphor when some values, some principles go from our soul, inside from our head. And through the values and principles, everybody could see some our doings, some our behavior. And as you discuss in your group, I am very agree that when we work in complex system, we doesn't know the result, the methods, and so on. And I could offer to use this flashlight to discover something in the complex system. And when you put your light inside of you to some your behaviors, you could find something new. And when you do agile, don't forget to be agile, because only mechanic, only using some instruments is not exactly agile mindset. It's only some instruments. And when you have agile approach, you will have another result. And as you know, the adults learn after the experience and exercises, and we would like to offer you some practice now. So as Natalia thinks, as Natalia explained about Stacy metrics, I am sure that you understand about complicated and complex system. And we now open the breakout room, and in each group, you could use the cards there on the right. Yes, thanks. So you could cards on their right place. Several cards for the complex system and several cards for the complicated system. So have fun in this exercise. Okay.
Yeah, and the first group will come to this frame, and the second group you can choose this frame.
Yeah.
And yeah, we will set up maybe about, it's very simple exercise. You can just, one moment, I can do this send to back. Oh, sorry, and send to back. Yeah, you can do it easy. Just put this card on the right place for, is it agile value or is it not agile value? Yeah, what is the right place here? Just put it. And I think 5 minutes is enough for our group, so I can set up a timer and okay, we can.
Is anybody
open.
have some questions or I open the room? I see that you have no questions, so welcome to the rooms. Welcome to the general session.
Is it was a simple exercise or complicated or even complex exercise?
An exercise to deal with resistance, because we thought certainly sometimes they use also a plan for the Agile mindset, also for the easy one. So you always follow a plan, but you don't follow a fixed plan, or you have more changes. So sometimes, you know, you can put both things on double side, but then in the end we said, okay, let's put the majority on the left or right hand, and it fits more or less together. So you can argue always on each one. Certainly you also need some negotiation of a contract, but on the Agile you probably need more negotiation. So it's always a mix, we decided.
Yeah, of course. We don't have this wall between between system, and of course they are flexible even in in their state, in their place. So let's take a glance on what you sort. Okay, group one. If you want to share your thoughts, maybe for 1 minute, or why do you have these question marks here?
That's where it started to be complex for us. We started simple, and the more you discuss the different dimensions, the more complicated and complex it becomes. We think, because there's always another kind of, which dimension do we actually put into the play? And then, this is okay now. It could be easier, it could be more simple, but it could also be complex. So we thought about customer collaboration, individual and interactions, working solutions, and responding to change is more like on the complex side. Whenever there is individuals involved, individuals, human beings are complex in itself. So that there must be something where we put those boxes more onto the left-hand side. And following a plan, like step by step, comprehensive, a huge documentation is maybe really, really big, but it is more like at least complicated, not really too complex. Contract negotiations, we were not quite sure, depending on, as Wolfgang said, maybe there needs to be a little bit more on, I don't know, iterative kind of loops, and then it becomes more and more complex. And processes and tools, we were simply not sure, because there is processes on the Agile methods in particular, and there's also processes in place for the other side. So that's why we put the question marks.
Yeah, and if we see on this asymmetrics, it looks like a Russian doll, when every outer system include all the inner system. So of course, in complex system, all the principles of complicated and simple system are also important and also included. But in complex system, we have more important, more trumpet. What the principles can give us an opportunity to work agile. Okay, thank you very much for the first group. And I ask second group, maybe you have a little bit different view of this or the same. Mm-hmm. Would you comment something or?
Two.
Yes, we had a discussion about customer collaboration because Wolfgang told us he has a collaboration with the customer also in non-agile environments, of course. Yes, this was the thing. And on the other hand, the processes and tools, yes, with question marks and following a plan, also in non-agile environments, I have following a plan about changing plans, perhaps, but I'm following a plan. Yeah, we have discussions. We have different understandings of the items.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, it's too short description to make right guess. And yeah, but I can say you that in 90% of your suggestion, you put right on the same mind as agile developers were when they discussed what would be the main difference between our thinking and our doing in complicated and simple system and complex system. And of course, all of this right part is important and still important. Processes and tools are very useful. But in complex system, if you have some stable process, but this process become outdated, you have to change it. And interaction between people can do it more flexible. So people start to communicate and to discuss. If we if we keep these processes and these tools, or we should change them. So
Yeah.
people is more important than processes.
Thank you. In this case, it does make sense for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, and as you see, we put, not we, but Agile developers put these values in the same line, the common values. For example, comprehensive documentation is important, but if you write a lot of manuals, but your product is still not working, it doesn't make sense. To be agile is to decrease time to market, to make product quickly. And in this case, a working solution is more important than comprehensive documentation. And you can notice that a lot of factories in the last century, we had very huge manuals, and now manuals become shorter, because we have not so much time to write all of these manuals because our product will change quicker than we can describe it. Next, contract negotiation is very important. Contract is about the sign, the papers, but in agile way, in complex way, is more important to make good relationship between us. And even if we sign the contract, but pandemic starts and something else, we're open to change this contract, to negotiate what we can change, what we can give as some I don't know how to explain it. No, but you understand, I think, yeah. So what we can do for our client, instead it was not signed in our contract. And the last one, but I think the first in agile mindset, of course, plan is very useful, and we have to make and follow some plan. But in complex system, look this this sign of train with this straightforwarding rules, yeah, and you couldn't change your direction. But in complex system, you have to change your direction because your goal also could be changed. And on our previous exercise, the second group noticed the Ames grid, Coverdale Ames grid, yeah? And you said that, okay, in complex system, we know the purpose, we maybe know the goal, and we don't know key result, we don't know results and so on, yeah? And sometimes in complex system, we even not sure about goal because our goal could be changed in the future because we have very high level of uncertainty. So we keep only the purpose and make the plan, but be able to respond to change quickly, to change your goal, to change your results, to change your way of doing. It's extremely important because our plans could be outdated very quickly and unpredictable. Does it make sense for you? Maybe someone want to add some thoughts about this.
Could you say a sentence about the Agile Manifesto so that people could link it to the developers that you named?
Yeah, of course. Agile Manifesto is some. So it is Agile Manifesto, and it was created in 2001 in an Austrian ski resort. So not so far from some of our participants, dear participants, when developers of the specific frameworks, for example, Scrum, XP, and so on, this very successful framework that gives people opportunity to respond quickly to changing this world, they gather together and try to find the common things in their approaches, in their frameworks. And they find that exactly these 4 values are common for all of their frameworks.
Mm-hmm.
And so this Agile Manifesto was written, and now even this Agile Manifesto become changing, and we see Agile Manifesto 2.0 and 3.0 and 4.0, but the main core values are still alive. Yeah, are still the same. And we bring to our next thing that why we start with the values. And yeah, please, Mary,
thanks.
it's your part.
Thanks. My favorite metaphor about this, about our flashlight, which bring the light from inside of us. If we imagine that this flashlight is in front of some wall, for example, yeah, so we will see those pictures with around, and on the and on the big around is our behavior, and here includes principle, and in the middle is our values. And I want to speak you a little story about the connection of all of these 3 things. Several, or I think it was several, but it not so important. Sometimes ago, I was a general director, and we have a transformation about culture. We speak with every employers between from the some top team, and after that to whole employers in our company about our motivation, why we are go to the work and so on. And we decide that a very good mission of our company will be to make our clients happy. And every employer understand that if our client will be happy, only in this way he will recommend to a lot of his friends and so on our company. And if we get their recommendation, we will happy as employers with a good money and the good future, because it will be a good situation in future for us also. And after we finish a lot of things in our transformation, I hear the dialogue of two employers. They discussing what they should do. And one person say, so we need to make our customer happy. It's our mission. So that's why we need to do this and this. And the other guy say, oh, okay, thank you, I agree with you. So they decide how behavior will be from their heart, because in their heart was really values which we together decide as a mission of our company. So I wish you to feel in your heart right values, if it's possible to say. So Natalia, maybe you could add my history.
Yeah, thank you very much for this story. And so this is the principle of our training. Our training is about agile mindset, and we could train this agile mindset through all the levels. So we start with the values, and we discovered and discussed now the values laying on the foundation of the agile mindset. And then, just after a short coffee break, we start to explore principles, agile principles, through some exercise. So our exercise is our behavior, but inside this behavior, learn some principles. And we could explore them through the comparison. So we could do exercise some different ways and compare which way is more agile and why, what principles laying behind it. And okay, now it's time to make some short coffee break, maybe. Yeah, Anita, what do you think?
Yes, yes.
Yeah?
And we are 11 minutes beyond time, but we will catch up later. So should we stay at 11 o'clock European time? That would be 20 minutes, a little less than 20 minutes, but 11 o'clock European time, Pranjal 3:30 our time.
Now I think then that Natalia will switch on the timer, and in every time zone we will see in what time we need to return from coffee break. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
So enjoy your coffee, and we'll see you back into the meeting room for the first of our tasks.
Yeah. Thank you. See you later.
Thank you. See you. Yeah.
Okay, is everybody with us?
Whose bird is that singing in the background?
That's in my background.
Oh, it's your
Lovely.
Oh, they are a pain, Klaus. When there are moments where you just want them to stop.
Is it wild birds or it's your domestic birds?
No, sweetheart, no domestic birds. I've got a domestic cat that is of no use. That's why we can hear birds in the background.
Great.
When I got my cat, my American neighbor was very worried about the bird population. And he asked me whether I would keep the cat inside the house. And I was like, no, that's not happening. But luckily, my neighbor can hear that Gustav has done nothing to the bird population. So all is good. Okay, I think we are all here, so we can start. You can all see the screen. And what we are going to do is, as Natalia said, that we have looked at values, agile values. And now for the rest of the day, we are going to dive into tasks to look at our behavior, addressing principles. So we're going to have 4 tasks, 2 in the morning and 2 after lunch, where we are going to dive into the different principles related to people. That's what we are doing today. That's our focus, to create that mindset also. So the first task is, because we are 9 now, please ignore the first line, because we are going to, Marie is going to send us in our groups of 4 and 5. That's already been decided. And what we want you to do is, you have the cards right next to this. Natalia, maybe you can show the cards, so that we have a whole collection of cards that you will see have different things written on them. And what we need you to do is, in your small group, to first have a discussion related to those cards about which cards are helpful for a group or a team or an individual to feel safe, to be more productive, to bring the best of themselves, the highest potential. So in your group, we want you to make a prioritized list of which of these cards do you think are important, so that a team or an individual or an organization can flourish. Now, we've given you a whole set of cards. What we'd like you to do, if you can, because I don't think it's a complete list ours, to bring 2 or 3 new ideas that are from your group that are not on the cards. Anything that comes up. So to brainstorm also on what else do you think is needed to create this space of working well together. So that's the idea. You would have 20 minutes to work on it. As usual, you have a board next to your cards where each group has its own board with the cards that you can always drag and pull them, and to put in your new ideas, your unique ideas that you bring. That's
the question. Working well together in an agile environment, because it's a difference if you work well together in a fire brigade.
So we'll stay with the topic of agile. We'll stay with the topic of agile, keeping in mind the values that we just had it, which is on just a little higher up in your Miro board. So you keep that in mind, because that's the value, that's the heart space that you want to create. And so what's needed to be able to work with that?
Okay, thank you.
Does that answer? Any other questions about the task? Otherwise, we would go into our 20 minutes of the task. I think we go into the task.
So I invite you to the rooms, please.
Okay.
Wolfgang?
Hey, hi, everybody. We saw a lot of activity happening on your boards.
Wolfgang? 1,86, keine 2 Meter.
Klaus, are you with us? Okay, so guys, I hope that exercise was fun, and we are going to want to listen to your discussions and the conclusions after the review. So what we'll just run you through the way we are going to do our standard review for each task. And here, as you can see with the shared screen of Natalia now, is the review of the first task. And generally we'll follow the same process, where you will take 5 minutes to make your individual notes on these questions that we've put down, and anything else that comes to your mind. So you use your notebook and a pen, a pencil, whatever you have near you, or your phone notes, to take 5 minutes for each one to make your own notes. And then you share that in your group. And we have a board, which is your group review board, which you can use as you wish, what we would like you is to present your review board also in the general session. So you can make notes of your key insights, we definitely want, but any other pertinent points that you feel like recording and presenting, please feel free to use that. The only constraint is the time that you have. So up to maximum 5 minutes for each one of you to do your notes, and then 15 minutes for the group review. What Marie is going to do is send you back into the breakout rooms right now for the next 20 minutes. And we'll see you back in the general session. Any questions about the review process? No. Yeah, I would be surprised with Coverdaleers in the room.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
great.
So I opened the room. Here we are. So welcome.
Ich muss meine Ansprache noch zu Ende halten. Sobald ich Kriterien habe, an denen das gemessen wird, auch das Problem mit der Agilität für mich. Oder mit agilen Vorgehen, Werner. Ja? Wenn jemand mir sagt, ich hätte gern das und das und das und das und das festgeschrieben hat, dann tue ich mich mit dem agilen Vorgehen wahrscheinlich schwer. Das waren meine Sätze noch zum Sonntag.
Die gingen leider unter, Klaus.
Welcome back, guys.
Jetzt hat man ja die Zeit noch genommen jetzt, ne?
Klaus, switch to English, please.
Welcome back, Klaus.
No. I just was praying.
Preaching.
Finishing, okay.
No, not finishing, preaching. He was preaching.
Preaching, okay. Is everybody back?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So people, time to present your task and your review. And the way we would like to do it is each group gets a maximum of 5 minutes, within which we would like you to share what was the experience of doing this task, just what was the feeling of it, what are your new points that you brought onto the board, and the highlights of your review. So you will 5 minutes for doing it. 5 minutes for one group, 5 minutes for the second. Which group, and we can all be on the Miro board, and Natalia will bring us to the board so that we can look there rather than sharing the screen. Then we can still see you guys, all of you. And which group would like to start? Not everybody at once, as I have heard some of my German colleagues say. Should I choose?
You choose, Anita.
Let's go in the reverse order then. Let's do group
Super.
2 first.
Good.
Group 2. How was the exercise for you? What are your new notes? And what are the highlights of your review that you would like? And your 5 minutes is now.
Okay, maybe I can start. And could we start with the key insights first and then come to results? Maybe it makes it easier for talking about the process and the insights and then to the results. Absolutely. So I don't know, who's sharing this?
Yes.
Yeah, group 2 insights.
Insights first. Okay, yeah, great. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this one. Yeah, yes, or for.
Well, I see it. Everyone see it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we talk a little bit about after the task. We talk about I would say how about the freedom, how to bring in, and everything is helpful. You know, you need trust, you need listening, and certainly it would be helpful to have someone who is facilitating the role, facilitating the process. And in the end, we also had some kind of insights, like when, let's say that when we solve a task, on one hand, it was just too much about information. It was like, I would say, a little bit complicated or maybe complex because so many information was given there. And we had two personal kind of reaction. One was like, oh, I don't like this task. Let's do our own cards. Or one person says, okay, let's try to find out which we don't need and try to do something. So the interesting insight is down here. Let's have first a short break before starting doing something. Talk about how you, what is your personal perception to the task? How do you feel with the task, with the situation? Did you like it? Or if you don't like it, what kind of challenges is it for you? Is it boring or interesting? And then talk what you think would be a good approach, how to deal with the task. So this was like, I would say, one of this in the inside thing. And then also to decide, do we now need an agile approach by solving the task, or do we have like a fixed method for doing this? And then coming to the results, then actually we just, have been writing some new cards. So we just said we don't really take over yellow cards which we're giving. We just put up some new cards which we think would be helpful. Also, we know the task is not fulfilled perfectly and there will be enough of room for many, many cards. But this was our way how we deal with the complexity.
I can show these cards, yeah?
Yeah, you can
for people. Okay.
Yeah, please. Could anyone please add on some comments or make some correction on what did I miss or any questions? I don't know. Sandra, Werner, Klaus, Evgeny, you have some comments as well, or if it's all done?
So coming back to Klaus's preach, I would like to hear the opinion of the experts or more experts or other opinions. Again, we had the discussion about criteria, which is, I think, an important thing. I raised the topic that said in a business environment, in a company, wherever, or at least, or even in a private situation, you have situations where you have where it's not doesn't make sense to have an agile mindset. You have to simply do things without being agile. You have to organize things in a known environment to do it. And the next day, same bunch of people, maybe a little bit different setup, but a completely different situation. You have to work on something really complex with the same people. You put away the agile mindset, the not agile mindset, and put on the agile mindset, being from one day to another in a different situation, completely agile. Then Klaus made his speech and said, hey, in both situations, you have to have a clear purpose. You do something based on a purpose, and you need to have clear criteria in both situations. And Klaus disagreed, and some people also, and maybe you as well. And I'm personally not sure. Do you need to have a clear goal in an agile environment, in a non-agile environment, and having clear criteria? Yes or no?
Natalia, you want to come in with that to answer that?
Yeah, thank you very much. And we will discover it through all our trainings. And maybe could you so write down this question, please, on the sticker. And could we explore this through all our trainings? So I don't want to give you an answer now, clear answer, because it's our topic of our discovering through all this training. And we return on the end, and could you and all answer this question by yourself? Is it will work for you? Okay. Thank you, Klaus. Okay.
And your time's up also. And there's one thing in the insights, make agreements. So I think that agreement within a team, do you need to be agile? Do you need to be structured? But I see that there has to be an agreement in the team. Which system are you planning to use? And that's part of your insight already, group 2. So that's really great. And now group 1. Thank you, group 2. Group 1. Your 5 minutes. Which order do you want to go in? Insights first or results first?
Well,
you start.
Yeah, we also could start with the insights and go on to the results further. Well, in our group, if we have a look at the approach, there were some things which came up. Was we were quite respectful with each other. We had from the beginning trust in the group, which helped to go on. We were listening to each other, and on the process, we really built on each other's ideas, which came up within the group. So this was quite helpful for the whole approach. For the next time, well, we said at the beginning, it was like we have plenty of time, and in the end, it was not that much time left. So we decided maybe it makes sense for the next task just to do some tasks parallel, split within the group. And one of the insights was that we also want to have the freedom to disagree, but just have some decision, or just go on ahead, that we don't get stuck if we don't have the same opinion on each point. And well, and what we also thought, that we should always have a look at our key insights before we just go on to the next task, that we don't forget about them. Yeah. Well, that's all about the insights, and Marius is going to present the result from our group.
That was quite overwhelming, because there were so many items that you already put on the board, that it was quite difficult to read through all of them, and then to somehow from deep inside of ourselves to evaluate what's now worth it putting on the right board. And we started with the freedom to category. So we figured out most of them is actually pretty cool to have that in place as a team, also in an agile environment. And then we figured out that once we had that on our board, we had also here and there disagreements, which is also important. But then we thought maybe this, like the other group, even if there is a disagreement in terms of several items, we need to go with the end result as a team. So we decided to put that under the category of feelings and needs that we have as members of the team. The other things that we evaluated as quite positive is the values that we can follow as a team, and this is in the middle column. So listen first, and trust and respect, and all those kind of things that is more like underlying ourselves in order to be a productive team. Which is a foundation in order to work with each other. Values, and on the right-hand side, we found that a category of cooperation, so how do we actually cooperate with each other, is quite helpful. So these are the tangible things, more or less, the things that we can hold on to, the things that we can see in terms of processes and information sharing and communication and speaking up culture. All those kind of things. And what we missed, and that's what we put in the right bottom, is the red cards. That's our new categories that we would like to pay attention to, is the thinking out of the box kind of attitude. And the other thing is like being open to give and receive feedback, the classic style of working with each other, and so powerful and important to have that as a team. That would be our results. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, group 2. And I like the fact how you've taken one of those cards of agree to disagree and taken it further, what to do with that, with the goal orientation, and setting your own criteria also. Like what you said, freedom to, that became a criteria to select, to make a sense out of the chaos.
Yeah.
You know, because it feels a bit like overwhelming and chaos. So then how do you find yourself? And you this group took one way to do it, and the other group said there's too much. Let's just start with our cards. So both responding to an external impulse.
Yeah.
Thank you, both the groups. And I hand you to Marie to take this further.
Yeah, thank you, Anita, for the good bridge, because I want to ask both group. You have a little bit different behavior at the start of your exercise. Let's now return to the start of the exercise and think, what did you feel? My hypothesis is
a little bit of confusion because of the mass of cards.
Yeah, confusion. Yeah, what else?
Information overload.
Thanks.
No criteria except the prioritized list.
Yeah, thanks.
I need criteria. I'm German.
Yeah, it's okay. We understand together. So it's a good point to check in what system now I am. If you feel some comfortable, some uncomfortable, some confused, it's a complex system for you. If you do something to change this system for the more simple, so at the end of the exercise, I'm sure that you feel yourself much better because you have a more clarity. Yeah. So what was the main thing at the beginning? To change your confused, your comfortable for some simple way. And the main thing here is personal safety. To be sure that everything is okay, I am on training or I have this task, but I have a best background, for example, or I'm sure that my team members will help me and everything will be okay. And this is about personal safety, and it's one principle regarding people in Agile. And I don't know as for you, for me, sometimes when we fly on the some travels, we had an instruction that first of all, if something will happens wrong, first of all, put your mask on your own, and after that take care of your child, for example. Yes, and this personal safety gave us a good resource to do anything in the complex system also. And the all groups say that a very important to have a trust. I am very agree with this, and as you agree or not, I think the trust began from the trust for your own. And it's very connection with the personal safety. And when you have a lot of trust to your own, to your colleagues, so every complex system with those uncomfortable systems will be not so hardly, what will be not so a big challenge. Because you will not know that if something will go not by plan, you have a colleagues and you have a trust here. And this is a second principle regarding people in Agile. So both group said about the respect. And of course, when we do anything with a good respect, we have a trust and we have a personal safety, yes? Because if some guys say, oh, what a stupid question you see, or is a stupid idea, it will be not very good for you, yeah? And it will be difficult to go to the complex system. What do you think? Maybe somebody say, but on mute.
Could you please repeat the question, Mary?
My question is, how is respect is connection for you with the trust and personal safety?
Yeah, as you already said, I think if you act respectful, it builds trust and it also builds personal safety.
So they're
Yeah.
I think this is a prerequisite.
Connected with each other.
I agree with Mario. This is a prerequisite. This is something you have or not. Being respectful.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
once
of
it is
course.
there, it opens up the possibility to work trustful with each other. And once this is there, you feel safe.
Yeah.
You cannot feel safe without having that kind of trust, because then you always risk yourself of being what we had as cards, like incompetent or afraid, or you hold back things. So that comes along with each other. It's actually building upon each other, as Waltraud said, I think.
Yeah, thanks. And what do you think? What is a successful criteria to have the trust? What we should have before the trust? For the trust, sorry.
Before I trust somebody, I need to know a little bit about the person, know each other, understand, know each other.
Yeah, yeah. And it's interesting discussion. What is the first, trust or communications? If we trust each other, we could communicate very free. But if we have no free communication, we will not have trust.
But it's more or less, people have this basic ability to have this Urvertrauen, this basic trust, and other people have the gain from their childhood this basic attitude of not trusting anybody at first, so that they need time and know each other. So it's I think personality. It depends on different personalities, right?
Yeah, and that's why the principle regarding people include freedom to speak. So if we have freedom to speak, we have trust and personal safety and respect. Or if we respect, have a trust and so on, we have a possibility to freedom to speak. So
yeah. I just had a thought also, Maria, that the first value, which is individuals and interactions over processes and tools. And I think what Klaus was saying, I need criteria. And that's very much processes and tools. And what Werner, you're saying that people normally have the feeling of respect and communication. But the way I'm understanding and grasping it right now is also that it's that whole thing of mindset and mindfulness, and to be able to live that first value of people and individuals and interactions over processes and tools. That's where it becomes even more important to develop that mindset of the people values. One might have it naturally or not, one might be aware of it or not, but in the case of agile mindset, you really need to be mindful about that, about your own first, and then of course about the others. So it kind of, these three values tie into the first, these three principles tie into the first value. Does that make sense,
yes,
Maria? What I'm taking away from what you're talking?
Thank you, Anita. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. And we start our training with these 3 principles regarding people to make good setup for all our training. And when you created your own prioritized list of this behavior, how to make trust, respect, and personal safety in group, let's bring it as group rules for our training, because all next exercise would be a little bit challenged, and we need all your trust to us as trainers, to each to each other, to make these exercises, because some of these exercises was designed in this way. You will have 2 rounds, and for 1 round we think you can fail, and it's good. So we design 2 rounds of each exercise that way, to make more clear what is the difference between behavior. So it would be normal in our training that you can fail, and you need support, psychological safety, trust, and respect each other to feel good in this exercise. Are you ready to this challenge? So jump into next exercise, to discovering next principle. Okay, I will bring you with me and start my presentation and share my screen, so you can follow me in very different kind of what you prefer, on Mirrorboard or on Zoom. Before we start our next exercise, please take your phone and find the stopwatch in your phone. Where is your stopwatch? Just find it. Your stopwatch. Yeah, not timer, but stopwatch. When you set up the time, the seconds. Prepare your pen or pencil or marker, whatever, and prepare some piece of paper. Free, yeah. So some piece of paper when you can write. So prepare this. And now we will try 2 rounds of exercise, and I ask you to follow instructions, not change instructions, not do it by your own way, but follow the instructions, because these instructions was created to bring you in the certain situation. Okay? So it's a game. It's just a game.
And you have your criteria, Klaus. Follow instructions.
Follow instructions. And I remember your creativity in ISM. Don't change instruction. Yeah, because in this case you will not feel this certain. You don't model this situation. Okay, let's go. And now I invite you in this game, and you are developers in one company, and we have the company policy, and the company corporate policy is never keep a customer waiting. And on the right side of this slide, you see 5 customers. And those customers have a task for you, and task is very simple. So your job is just write the name of the customer. But you should do it the certain way, following the corporate policy. So now prepare your piece of paper, your pen, your stopwatch, and let's do this exercise this way. So in every minute, every customer could feel that you do his task. In this way, you just start to write the exactly names of these customers that showed you on the right side. At first, write the first name of the first customer, then first name of the second customer, then first name of the third customer, and so on. And then second letter, second letter on the name of the first customer, second letter for the second customer, and so on. So following these arrows. Do you understand the sequence of your work?
And I see that Klaus is very surprised.
Yeah. And we ask you to use your stopwatch. So if you just now start your task, it's false start, and you have to start only after I said, okay, let's go. Just you have to keep the time, to write down the time when you start. You start your timer, and when you finish the first name for the first customer, just write down what time is it, how much seconds it's left. And then when you finish all the task, also write down the number. So after this task, your result is two numbers. The first number when you finish the first name, and the last number, second number when you finish the last name. Is it clear?
No, Natalia, yes. One question. Is the first customer then Eugenia? Because there are less letters?
No.
Rosalinda.
No.
The first customer is Rosalinda.
Okay.
Second customer is Kazimir.
Okay.
Third customer is Padmavati, Evgenia, and Wilhelmus.
Okay.
And at the beginning of the task, you write the first letters, not the name of
first letters.
First letters. So it will be R, K, P, and so on.
Then O, A, U, I, and so on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just because Eugenia is less letters. Okay.
No. So yeah, it's intentionally.
Okay.
Okay, let's start. Yeah, you can do it in your own way because each of you have your own stopwatch. Let's start. Start your timer. Start to write your letters. And when you finish, to show us that you are finished, please write your two numbers, one number, then some defis, for example, and second number on the chat box. Please use function send message to all, not to organizer, but to all. not personal message. Put on a chat, on Google, on Zoom chat, your two numbers. Without name, only first number and second number, like Mary did. 60, 66. Mm-hmm. Two numbers together, not one number, but two numbers together. We need two numbers in the chat, two numbers, the first number and the second number, the first delivery time and the second delivery time. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think, yeah, one more person, and we are ready to go to the next, yeah, to the next round. Are you ready to the next round? Are you all finished? Okay, well done. Thank you very much. And Mary, could you copy all the chat numbers on a mirror board on
Yeah, with
the
great pleasure.
some right side? And we go to the second round. And attention, second round will be different. The same customers, the same names, but our corporate rules was changed. And now we work only with one customer at a time. So we will write down the same names and note our delivery time after first name was written and after all names was written, but the sequence will be different. At first, you write all letters from the first name, R-O-S-A-L, so all for Rosalinda, and only after, and make the note what time is it, and only after this, write Kazimir, Padmava, and so on. Please start your job. And after you finish, again, put your numbers on chat box. We need two numbers, not one number, but two numbers in chat. The first number and the second number. It's important to compare.
The first and the?
First and last. When you deliver the first name, Rosalinda, and when you delivered all the names.
Okay.
So, yeah. So
Thanks.
in chat, we need all these numbers together. The first time and the second time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thank you, Mary, who collected. We don't need the names. We need only numbers. Yeah.
Okay, I will delete the names.
Yeah. And if everyone is ready, I think yes. So we can copy the second round. Yeah. Yeah. And well done. Yeah. Well, good job. And our customers are maybe satisfied, maybe not. And now we are modeling some working situation. And now it's time to reflect. Which of these two rounds was more effective in creating customer value and why? And your reflection task is to explore and compare two different duration, two different times. Maybe I can show you now if you see, yeah, these times. And Mary, maybe you can put these numbers closer to our reflection mode.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah? So on the light yellow part, it's the results of our first round, and on the orange is the second round. Yes.
Yes.
And so now we will create the breakout rooms, the same rooms. And at first 5 minutes, just reflect by yourself and make your personal notes. What was the main difference between rounds? Yeah, which round was more effective if you see on these numbers, on these facts? Which working style is more common in your team and why? The first one or the second one? And if you want to improve something, what would be first step to improving? And then collect all your insights in your working space for group 1 and group 2 you're familiar with. So now here we have these numbers, and you can see and compare. And maybe, Mary, can you write the first round and second round?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, thank you very much. Is it clear what we should do now?
Natalia, one question. We had that last reflection time as well. What team do you have in mind if you say your team? Is it my team at home or this team here?
Your team at home. Your team at home, yeah.
Internet.
And your not even team, but your as employee, your as a leader, your as maybe owner of business. Yeah, in your working life, what is your more preferable style? First one or second one? Okay, let's go to our breakout rooms. Just
I am open it. Thank you so much about the record. Yeah.
Okay, last time it was a second group, maybe now a first group could be first. Could you share all your things?
We can do, certainly.
Yes, great.
But I think we are the only ones. I don't know if Dimitri or Pranjal are in the line already. So let's get started. No worries.
Yeah.
The second round was much faster, of course, as we all, I think, experienced. We had one key insight that we would like to share with you, and this is that the more we focus on the customer, the better the results usually are. So otherwise you get distracted by certain things, and the first task actually represents that. So once you are tackling too many things at the same time, meaning letter by letter, for each and every name, then usually you lose focus, and then you lose speed and time to market. So applying to our business, once you have a lot of customers and you try to do everything at the same time for each and every one of them, then you usually lose the focus and time. That's why we said focusing is much better than multitasking. We couldn't really compare the two tasks. It felt a bit unnatural, the first task, like doing it step by step and letter by letter. So that was quite unusual, but we figured out in order to know which was the best way, you actually need to think of an alternative way, and that the first task could be as such, meaning you need to try out different processes in order to, at the end of the day, know which one is actually serving the customer's needs best. That's more or less our conclusion, I would say.
Yeah, thank you.
Waltraud, yeah.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that's it. Well, the only thing maybe I could add is that, yeah, it depends on a special situation. Sometimes you have a different process. And this came from Dimitri. You don't have to change always the way you do it. And if you're used to a process, it just takes much longer to change your way of doing it, of thinking it. Yeah, and sometimes it's not necessary. It always depends on the sense behind, on the purpose behind. If you have to change it, yeah, but that's it actually.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, and the second room team, what you want to add or to emphasize, or maybe you have some different thoughts? Please go ahead. Who want to make some comments about?
What's your, Natalia, what's your understanding of customer value?
It's interesting. My understanding, like customer gets some product, some result, some working product. Remember the values of Agile, working solution. I have working solution and I can do something with this.
Okay. We had the question, what is customer value? If we define customer value as the time we spent with the customer,
okay.
So round one was most efficient.
Yes.
And this was the discussion in our group.
Yeah.
What is the customer value? Spending my time with the customer, or getting things done with the customer? What is, yeah? And this we had some examples. Last week I went to my dentist, and I got my anesthesia in my teeth, and while waiting for the anesthesia working, my dentist went over to another customer and did her things. And then what was the request? Okay, what should she do? Yeah, of course they can sit with me waiting for the anesthesia is working and take conservation with me for about 20 minutes. But this is not my customer value, or no plus of customer value. Yeah, and so we discussed in our group. It depends on the customer expectation on one hand, and on the other hand, we have to define what exactly is customer satisfying. Yes, and if the customer expects that I spend time with him, okay, so I do this, yeah, because this was a little bit different.
I have a question, Klaus. Could you be happy if during the time when your doctor will stay with you, she include those time in the invoice for you?
Exactly, this is the question. No, I wouldn't be happier. Why? Yeah.
because it's not value for you, yeah.
Exactly.
to pay about it. Yes.
This was the question we discussed, yeah. And
Yeah.
Evgeny had a similar example from a doctor working with him in Hamburg, and it was, yeah, it's very similar to mine.
Yeah, thank you very much for this brilliant example. Yeah, and but imagine the next situation that you don't need, no, or you already have this anesthesia, and also 5 clients already have this anesthesia, and sitting open your mouth widely, and doctor make one shot to you, and then run to next customer, one shot to him, and all this time you're sitting with the open mouth. Could you imagine?
Klaus, you are on mute.
I could, yeah.
Yeah. So this, yeah, this example not about when customer don't need our attention, but about working solution. But yeah, of course, especially in complex and chaotic system, we don't have some straight situation and only one right decision, of course. We just explore what could happen and make some experiments. And making experiments, we will discuss it on the second day. But yeah, it's also one of the principles of Agile. And now you were in an experiment, and maybe I can share my screen. Yeah, thank you very much for your insights and for your brilliant example. And also about this notice set of the first group that writing names unusual way, it's wasting their time. But imagine that the task was not just writing names, but making some work for a customer. For example, you prepare training for a customer, and they are waiting your training so fast as you can. They want it immediately. And or you can do any work for customer, and customer is waiting you. In your example with anesthesia, you have to wait because of your needs, yeah. But we start to model situation when customer don't need this time. He wants to have his result as faster as possible. And just compare the numbers. So we one of the also Agile principles is to standing on the facts, not our dreams, but on the facts. And facts was on the second round, the speed was faster for first customer. Just divide. For first customer, it was in 20 times faster. And for all customers, it was in 3-4 times faster. And it's a question. If customer want to get result as soon as possible, in which situation this customer will be more happy? What do you think? It's dramatical difference. I agree. In 20 times. Yeah. Even in 3-4 times. And of course, especially in our complex and chaotic world, we have to be multitasking. So just now, how many browsers and messengers you have open just now? Just calculate. Yeah, we have to be multitasking, but we have to be anxious about, we have to be aware about that if we try to handle too much task in one time, we make our result longer in 4 or 20 or even more times. Just because we need to, also additional time to switch from one activity to other activity. And so it brings us to the next principle, agile principle, stay focused. And we couldn't avoid all multitasking. We have it. But when we talk about agile leadership, it's agile leader responsibility to keep his team as much focused as they want, to remove all disturbed, all unnecessary things, to help team keep this focus. And this could increase satisfaction for customers and also for team. What do you think about this? So it was the fourth principle that we explored now, stay focused. How it work with you? Maybe somebody want to share. What do you think about this? After this experience, after our conversation?
Maybe I
Yes,
would
Sandra.
like, because that was one of our findings as well, that in the first round we were more like working things down, like ticking boxes and just getting things done. And in the second round, it was more fun. It was seeing the things as a whole and being more motivated. So that's maybe the thing you're mentioning here in this principle as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sandra.
And
And
not
maybe
only for the customer, just for us as well.
yeah, and for us also. And maybe you can just now write down for yourself, for all of you, for yourself, just some notes of what could be the first step for your personal tasks, how you can be more focused, to be more satisfied and more happy. Okay, and let's go to the next topic, next principle. We also could explore this topic with some experiment. And now we can move a little bit after lunch. And for this exercise, I will share not Miro board, but my PowerPoint presentation, because this exercise consists of some animation, some movements that we couldn't technically do in Miro. Yeah, so I will reshare my screen, and if you are in a Miro board, please switch to the screen sharing.
Natalia, I suggest you to put some other picture on Miro board now to bring everybody just to some other picture, so we could find the difference.
Yeah.
After you start the
now
exercise.
I put the thank you, orange arrow on the Miro board. Do you see? And the instructions: switch from your Miro board, Alt tab or Command tab to our Zoom, where you can see our video, if you can see me, and you can see the sharing screen. Okay, are you ready? Yeah. So now find a comfortable position for you. You can sit, and maybe you have to make some space between you and your monitor. If you could, you can stand, because now it will be some technical, some physical activity. Maybe you can take off your jacket. Yeah. And now on the screen will appear the letters A, B, C, D, F, any letters of the Latin alphabet, English or German alphabet. not German, English alphabet without umlauts. And the exercise was, your task was to repeat loudly, so not inside, but outside, this letter that appears, A or B or C or D, just shout out this letter. And in the same time, raise the hand that marked below the letter. So below each letter, you will see L left, and so you raise your left hand, R right, you raise your right hand, and B both hands. We will
invite you to try.
Yeah, so now we will have 3 rounds. The 0 round would be a training round, very slow, and I can comment some things, you can ask something. So the 0 round was not exercise, but training now to understand better what we should do. Then we start the first round, and then we start the second round. And in our review, we don't review the 0 round, but only comparing first round and second round. Yeah, so now will be the 0 round training, very slow, and you can try that you do all things in the right way. Do you have questions before, or we can start? Okay, just do it with me. A, G, I, L.
Super. Mute.
Unmute. You can unmute. E.
Yes.
E.
Check. Mario, Sandra,
okay.
Waltraud, Klaus, switch on your microphones, please.
Do you understand? Yeah, that we pronounce letter on the top and raise hand that marked on the bottom. All understand?
Yep, got it.
Got it. Great. So the first round will be without girl, without this girl with hands, only letter L, R, or B. Remember, L left, R right, B both. Do you remember? Okay, just prepare for round 1. It will be a little bit speedy than our training crowd, but okay, let's go. S. U.
S.
T.
A. I.
N.
L.
A.
B.
E.
L.
E.
P.
A.
C. E.
Wow, well done. Wow. Great. Okay, and remember how many mistakes do you have, and if we will continue, how long you will be continue. Yeah, of course it may be some boring task, but if you have to do it, if you how long you have do it in this pace. Now round 2.
Okay.
Be prepared. Klaus, where are you? Where need you? Okay, be very
without
attentive.
camera.
No, turn camera on, please. Turn camera on, Wolfgang console. Yeah. We will check if you raise your right hand. No, so right. I see. I mean,
not wrong.
Not wrong. Okay, let's go. Round 2. Start. Okay.
U. N.
S. U. S. T. R. I.
A.
Continue.
A, C,
E,
E,
L,
L,
E,
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 A,
D,
D,
S,
S, T,
T,
O,
O,
B,
U,
Q, R,
R,
No.
R.
O, U, P.
Pro.
Well done. Great. I noticed that Werner was on time every time.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
great.
Superman
Okay.
with a
Okay.
quick reaction.
And now we will return on our mirror board. Just return to the mirror board and let's me introduce you some review task. Okay, now you will have 20 minutes as in a previous task in your group to discuss your findings. So you had this experiment, and remember, you compare only first round and second round. Yeah, without this preparation, training, so only first and second round. What was the difference? And at first 5 minutes, just think about this and write down your findings, and then compare, and then share this in your group. So what was the main difference between round 1 and round 2? Which pace do you prefer personally? And how does your team's pace influence the efficiency and effectiveness of performance? If you work in a team, if you don't work in a team, work for you alone, as Sandra asked, yeah, so you can imagine that your team is you, yeah? So for you, what is more effective? And how much time we can keep this space, what is comfortable for you. Okay, now we will open our breakout rooms, and group 1 will go on this slide and group 2 on the second slide. Okay, Mary, please.
Welcome to the rooms. Oh, welcome.
Yeah, welcome back. And okay, share your key insights, please. Which group want to start first? Klaus, I saw you unmuted, so are you ready? No. Okay, let's start. Who want to speak? Okay, in a previous task, I think it was a first group first, yeah? So now maybe we can change and start with a second group. Could we? Please. From the second group, who want to share your key insights?
Let's say we had a wide discussion, a broad discussion.
Yeah.
And so it's we didn't really spend a lot of time about writing cards. So one string was like discussion about having a narrow or a wide focus about how do I look about things, just, you know. And then we talk about a little bit about motivation. Was it like an individual or was it a team exercise? Yeah, so it's different how to deal with this. The last seconds we talked also about, I would say, making mistakes or challenging or team performance, you know, about this area. So we didn't really, so different kind of I would say side discussion had, yeah? And also about was this as an Agile approach or not, or what is the Agile approach by this task as well. So I don't know, maybe Klaus, you want to add something, or Sandra, Werner? They don't want to add. So then group.
I could add something because we had not really a focus for the discussion, and but we agreed that it would be a different focus, whether this be you understand it as an individual or a team exercise.
What would be a difference if it individual or team exercise? What would be a difference?
Yeah, as we talked about that, if it would be team exercise, then we we could maybe share the tasks or discuss what would be a good speed for everybody or competences and stuff like that.
Yeah. So if it would be a team task, we should synchronize our speed. Yeah. If it's individual task, yeah, we can choose the speed, because for Werner, as I noticed, it was easy to be on time. For some of you, it was very hard, yeah, and some of you refused in the second round, as I noticed, yeah, because the speed was too much. Yeah, okay. Thank you very much. And about multitasking, thank you very much that you noticed this. This task, if in this task we work high focused, or we had some multitasking in this task. What do you notice in this exercise?
This is what we discussed with narrow and wide focus. We say if you only look about one thing, like on the first letter or the second letter, 100% of energy goes only on one single item, and then you get like confused on this, or you make a lot of mistakes, or you slow down. So what you need like a higher perspective, and we would say like a relaxed way about being focused, so you can look about the two letters, and also let your brain think about what does it mean, left, right hand, and so on. So it's more a question about how you should invest the energy only on one single aspect or multiple aspects. That's the idea.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's very connected with our previous exercise. Yeah, and remember that I said, okay, to stay focused is extremely important, but we live in a complex and chaotic system, and we don't have this lucky opportunity to keep this focus. So the reality is multitasked, and we understand this. And we as a leaders, we should help our teams to keep their focus. But we understand that sometimes they have to be multitasked because it's outside demanding, yeah? And in this case, especially in this case, we need to follow the next principle. And our next principle is what to do if you have to be multitasking, because shutting out the letter and raising your hand, it's two tasks in one time. It's multitasking game. And so thank you very much that you emphasize this. Let's hang it out, yeah, and discuss later when we discuss this theory, and I warmly ask the first group to share your insights, and then we will discuss together.
So I can present.
Yes.
We discussed actually 3 points. I think speed, purpose or aim of this, and fun. So about speed, it's clear that more speed and more difficulties. Then more speed we have, then more problems and mistakes and losses we have. So then, sorry, I cannot see.
How I can help you?
Now it's okay.
Okay.
About purpose, not easy to follow a task without knowing the purpose, final aim. Why we do this? Or why we should do like this? For what? And without this understanding, we can lose motivation to do this exactly this task. So then we have about lost motivation, and then we lose motivation. So it lead to disconnection with participants of group or team and with task, and so it's a full disconnection finally. Then we thought that each task is simple, but doing all things together it's complex. So to hand up, it's a really simple moving, but one moving, next moving, next moving, next moving, lot of moving, confuse. So and we lose. So maybe my team, our team, can help me to present more points.
Okay, thank you very much. And I really agree with you that knowing the purpose is extremely important. And just make a bridge with usual work. If we as a leaders or someone as a leader give team one task, second task, third task, and without sharing the purpose, they really lost their motivation. So I highly agree with your insight that knowing the purpose is highly important to keep motivation even in a difficult task. Yeah, for why, for what I do it. Yeah, thank you very much. It's great insight. And if we were the real leaders, yeah, not the trainers, but leaders, I would recommend you to write down this insight. And next time when you give your reports some tasks, at first share your vision and purpose, and only then give the task. And
Natalia and
yes.
Sandra up her hand.
Oh, yes, Sandra. Oh.
Yeah. I think this training, it's all about complexity and difficult and into separate. I do have a question actually, because the group writes it's the task is complex. Would you agree to that? Because in my understanding of complexity, it's not complex, it's difficult.
Complicated.
Complicated, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Because I think it's a very important discussion to have in this training at one point or the other.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, I would pick up on this one if I would be the trainer. Because
yeah, thank you very much, Sandra. And yeah, maybe the first group can, yeah, because if this, do you remember the Stacy matrix? Yeah, that is the system simple or task is simple or complicated or complex or chaotic, depends on our certainty and our agreement. So it's not, so it's some subjective assessment, yeah, estimation. How I can evaluate this situation as simple, as complicated, as complex, or as a chaotic. And maybe we can ask first group, why do you evaluate this task as complex?
Or maybe it's just wording. I don't want to pick on words. Sometimes we just say it's complex. It's
yeah.
Yeah, I agree actually with Sandra. I think it's not, it was a bit, I think the better word in this particular case would be complicated. Because once you train it, maybe you have a little bit more on sustainability progress and you know, a bit more comfort in following, you know, the speed and so once you get a bit more trained, but this that has nothing to do with complexity. It's more like complicated. Maybe if there would be other criterias coming into the play, then it's getting more and more complex in order to think of there is, the sound and maybe there is some other things flying in. And then it could be, then you're not able to handle it any longer, even if you train it like 1,000 times, and then it gets complex. Now, you have to deal in another way in order to see how you can solve the problem.
Yeah, thank you very much. If we stay on the Stacy Magic's definition, for example, what is level of agreement of what would be a result of this task? Do you clearly understand what would be the result? What you want to, what you have to do in this task? We have this clear instruction, and we had the 0 round when we do it together. So the exercise was really simple. It was really understandable what to do and how to do. But I agree with the first group. When we increase this speed, let me show you again Stacy metrics, because it just helped us to understand better. So I just show my screen and bring you here. So when we do this task in the first round or 0 round, we were there. Yeah, it was our point. Yeah, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But when we started in the second round in the high speed level, the agreement would be on the same position. The task was not changed. The result would be the same, but speed was increased dramatically, and you lose your understanding how you can be on time. Are you agree with this? And for some people, it would be here. For some people, it would be here. So I, as an observer, couldn't say, is it complicated system become or complex system? Only a person who performs this exercise could say how far he is in his uncertainty, how to be on time. What do you think about this? Does it make sense? And Sandra, it was your question. What do you think of this now?
You're on mute.
Not sure, because that's why I raised the discussion. Because for me, it's not getting complex. It's only getting more complicated. Complex is for me, you have the same input and you're not sure about the output. Like other things could happen. So, but yeah, that's just my understanding of complexity. So I don't know. So that's why I want this discussion.
Yeah.
From my view of point, we had the discussion about what is fast and what is slow. Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
Sandra said, "Oh my God, the first pace so slow." And I said, "Sandra, for me, the first pace wasn't slow. Yeah. This only the thing. What is slow? What is fast? Yes. And I think." For me, it was a complex thing because before I lose my control about my doings, and before I go to the chaos, I don't want to go over this limit because of complexity. And this is the point in the Stacy matrix with my agreement to this. And before I lose control, or however do you say, before I lose this and before I go about over the limit, so I say, I stop it. I end this action, and I withdraw from the whole scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, from my point of view, it was a more or less complex situation.
Alles klar. Danke für die Nachricht.
Can I come here with something,
Yeah, Anita?
Ja.
Which I've been hearing in the last few voices. I think for me, where it goes from.
No. Not in, I wasn't yet in the chaos, please.
No.
Not in chaos.
Not yet.
Okay,
not yet.
Complex. Yeah.
But,
so I think the threshold of complexity is also a subjective one, which is what I see Natalia pointing out right now. And I think with that whole principle of agility, where you're not really focused only on the end result, but also the way you get to it. So if you are working in a team or working as an individual, it's about and it was in your key learnings also, some people said at which point it stops being fun or it gets exhausting. And I think that is because it can be subjective. I'm guessing for Werner, it was a very good speed because he was just on top of it. And in the same team, somebody else can find it. So he might be in the simple. Even for the second round, it was pretty simple. Maybe I'm just projecting Werner, using you as an example.
Yeah.
And for Klaus, he's not in chaos, but in complexity. But somebody else could be in chaos with this exercise, frozen. Yeah. So I think that subjective nature is a part of what's complicated and what's complex. Complicated is not necessarily subjective. You might not be able to do it, but the instructions are clearly there and it's doable.
Yes. And thank you very much for this very insightful discussion. And what the key learnings for us as a leaders, as a trainers, as a leaders, that we are different. And for one person, and it's the very often mistake for the entrepreneurs. Because usually for entrepreneurs, the very hard tasks are simple or complicated. But for their employees, these tasks are complex or chaotic. And if this training is about agile mindset, is this training for leaders? Let's remember that people are different. And for some people, our simple task could become complex or even chaotic. Yeah. And what we need to make it more simple, make clear agreement and clear certainty how to reach it. And can we return to our exercise? So is this discussion was useful for you?
I would like to add one more comment.
Yeah,
because
of course.
By doing these exercises was also very interesting, just came up in my mind. On one hand, we have very clear and fixed rules, like we have certain kind of numbers and certain kind of behavior. So for the individual feeling, it was some sort of complicated to do this. But being an observer, if I would like watch the whole group, I could not say in the beginning who will fulfill the exercise or not, and what will happen if someone give up or if he will still on doing this. So it's also interesting about the different kind of perspectives. So maybe for observer, it's a very complex situation because there's just a bunch of people, they have a challenge and we don't know, do they perform? How many of them are going to perform and what kind of output it has. So this just came in mind, maybe to edit.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. And we as leaders, we have to understand, what happened with all of our team members. If someone are boring because it's too slow for him, and in the same time, next person give up because it's too fast for him or for her, And as a leaders, we have to understand this.
And if you look about like to run a business, like if you're a CEO, for you it could be like a complex situation because what kind of project you're going to start. But on the subordinate levels, if you have your own project and you know how to do it, and for you it's maybe it's complicated. But on the higher perspective, the whole thing is very complex. You don't know if it work out well, and you know how it's going to be the business on long term or everything. So it's always a question about perspective as well.
Yeah, thank you very much. Look, so simple exercise and so much key insights we get from this exercise. I love it. And okay, the longer it got, the more exhausting it become. It's the next point, yeah, that actually this exercise was intended by this key learning. Yeah, and when exhaustion leads to disconnection, loss of motivation, and so on. And it brings us to the next agile principle regarding people. So the fact is, it's not a principle, it's a fact, scientific fact, that our productivity is depends on our pace, on our effort. And even in the second round, if we start to keep this temp, after time, we become tired, we become exhausted. And even if on the beginning, we can work hard and produce more, then we start to lose our power, our energy, and fall into this ineffectiveness to lose any power to do something. And for example, if our team work 60 hours per week, first 2 weeks they can do more than usual team, but then they start to burn out. And it's very important for leaders to keep in mind. So in your first round, you would keep this temp, this pace more time. In the second round, even if you was very effective in the second round, after some maybe 5 or 10 minutes, you become exhausted. And to keep sustainable pace for you and for your team is very important to make all of these great results, because remember the Agile values, Agile manifesto: people, individuals, and interaction over the processes and tools. And to keep sustainable pace for your team, understand what is a sustainable pace for each team member and help them to keep this pace and synchronize them, even if one team member is very speedy and other team member is some slow person, how to connect them and how to help them to work together in a team. So it was next principle, Agile principle regarding people, work with sustainable pace. And if you are ready to go to the next exercise, are you ready, or we need some time to rest? What do you think? And then do the lunch. Are you ready for one more task? Are you not exhausted of this conversation? Ready? Wolfgang, ready? Anita, you are muted.
I said nobody's saying no, so I think they are
great.
This task is a little more interactive in your group, so it'll wake you up if you are.
Okay, great.
I was off. My internet connection was down. There's something bigger in Stuttgart already taken place. I'm sorry, I'm back now.
And now you are with us, yeah?
Yeah.
So if we now begin a little discussion about your technical problems in your city, maybe we could ask the Sandra to go to another group for any case if something will go wrong. So we have Pranjal, and now we have Marius with some unstable internet.
Unstable
as I
internet.
understand.
Yeah.
Sandra
I hope I'm stable again.
Okay.
Okay.
It all of a sudden happened. So actually it was the first time.
Okay, it's time for the first exercise. Yeah, we prepare a lot of exercises for you to explore all of Agile principles through your experience. And the next, our experiment is with the puzzles. And now, and please keep the rules, because we created these rules to create some special situation for you. So please keep the rules as we ask you to see this difference. Yeah. Now we will create two groups, and you will have some number of puzzle pieces. And on the round one, we have this strict rule: don't share your pieces with other team members. So just see your, I will show you where is your pieces and how to do this. And the result of your task would be the gathered picture, the puzzle picture that gathered together. Yeah. So keep your pieces unshared and try to complete the puzzle as soon as possible. And on the right, you will see the lines group 1 and group 2. And if you follow these lines, you can see where is the place for group 1 and where is the place for group 2. And so, yeah, let me go here. So it's, one moment. How we will do? Sorry. Yeah, mirror board is too slow. Don't keep sustainable pace for mirror board. Okay. The first group will be there, and the second group on the right side. And you see you have two parts of this exercise. And now we are on the bottom part, on the bottom part. Yeah, not who do it? Oh, who do it? One moment.
Close your eyes immediately. Close your eyes.
Yeah. One moment.
So, Natalia, we could ask the group number 2 to go to the right
I can
frame.
One moment. I can froze this.
We haven't seen the right frame. For okay.
Who is so how you can name it? What is the name for a child who is who not follow the rules? Okay, just I just now try to this one. Let's do it now. And now I will show you. So, and for first group, we ask you to go this place, and here we can remove. I can show you how to do this exercise, and then we can do it. So I bring everyone to my screen, and I show my screen and show what we can do with this. One moment, this one. Okay, when you go to your board, please choose, and you can name this column. Yeah, choose one column. And in group of 4 people, for example, Marius. For example, yeah, here is Marius, here is Sandra, and so yeah, name your column. And on the first round, you're allowed only to work with your own stickers, your own pieces. And put these pieces here. As you understand, okay, it would be there, yeah, and this would be next, тогда, and so on, yeah. In group, for 4 people, we have one group for 4 people. Yes, Mary?
Yeah, yeah.
One person,
group.
One person could be a volunteer to keep to, or maybe Mary, can you help me to bring these pieces to the other
To
people?
the
Yeah,
four,
to 4
okay.
people.
Okay,
to 4 people.
okay, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, now to do this, we can do this. So we don't work with this frame. Okay, for group 1, we will go on the left. And now I can bring you here. Yeah, and it will be for group 1. I can show you. This is group 1. And for group 2, we will have working place here. Do you have any question? How to perform this exercise? So now we have 10 minutes for first round, and then we after you we will see what you do. After you complete your exercise, we can open the picture and show you if you are right or wrong. And then we open the next site, and you will have additional 10 or maybe 7 minutes to complete the second round. But before this, we bring you back to the main room to give you instruction for the second round. So now you perform only first round, and after that, we will bring you back and give you time to the second round. And after this, I think we will go to the lunch, and after this to the coffee break, and after this we will discuss what you do. Okay. Whew. Okay, now Mary, please open groups. And
have fun.
For first group we have 4 people, and for second we have 5. Okay, so for first group I
Marie waiting to bring them back.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the general session.
Hello.
And yeah, who were the winner of this game?
Warum wollt ihr das umdrehen? Also das passt doch ja alles. Das ist nur, es ist halt ein bisschen ein verzogenes Putzle. Wenn es ein Realputzle wäre, wäre schon lang fertig.
I only could say, ja, natürlich.
Okay. Remember the task was to gather all of these pieces, and which group will be first, so will be the winner. And first was the group number 2. And applauses, yeah. But now I see that some wrong happens with this piece. Okay, yeah, you have it. And so the picture was correct. Okay, great. And let's go to the group number 1. You was about 2 minutes after the second group, but you also have correct picture. So applause for you too. Great. Actually, as we discussed with our trainers group, maybe we give you 2 simple tasks because you could conversate with each other. So maybe, but yeah, let's see what could be our second round. And our second round would be this, and I can share you and bring you to me. So you will stay in the same group, in the same workspace. But now you allowed to move any piece. So you will see the final picture and you will move all the pieces that you see, and you can conversate with each other and do what do you want. And now we will set up timer, for example, 7 minutes, but yeah, or we can just keep for 10 minutes, but just notice it. What would be the time? Yeah, because the first task you was completed in about 7 minutes, and it's interesting when you can complete this task now, and what would be changed. And now for the second group, you will have this task. This, wow, I can open it for you. You see the picture and you see that all pieces are together, not far one from each. And for second group here. Okay, let's start. Mary, you can open breakout rooms and
Great
return
pleasure.
when you finish. Return to the main room just when you finish.
Code system.
Mm-hmm.
One group is coming back, and the group number 1 is not complete with us. So we have 25 seconds.
Now they are all, I
joining
think.
everybody.
Yes, everybody's here.
Yeah, everybody's here.
No,
not everybody.
sorry, not everybody. Several guys are stay in their breakout rooms. Sorry, so 5 seconds. 5 seconds.
I think I can bring everyone to me.
Yeah. Now we are here.
Yes, now they are coming.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome back. And now we will start a coffee break. But before coffee break, we want to ask you spend 5 minutes to make some individual notes. What was the difference between round 1 and round 2? And which round was more effective? And which working style is more common for you in your team, now in your real country, Coverdale team? And what should be maybe the first steps to improve? And we will start our coffee break in 5 minutes between 3:30 to 3:50, and just return at 3:50 back. And then we just we can gather you to your breakout rooms, maybe for 10 minutes to sharing your insights and then present your insights, okay?
Thanks, Natalia. And enjoy, everybody, your individual notes and coffee break.
So I think that I could stop.
Only some, yeah.
Everybody is almost
Everybody is okay.
Yeah.
Hey, Anita, great sunset.
Yeah.
It's Natalia's sunset this time. I wish I was in Goa and this was a real view.
It's a Russian
Yes.
sunset. Where in Russia?
Okay. And now it's time to go to your groups, return to your groups and breakout rooms. And what do you mind? Maybe 10 minutes, it's enough for you now. What do you think? Yeah? So let me make timers for 10 minutes. And okay, we will open your session group and discuss your individual insights and prepare some short presentation, what you will catch from the previous exercise.
Welcome to the rooms.
Ah, there they are.
Welcome back. And who wants to start sharing? Which group?
Right away.
Okay, Mario's group number 1, yeah?
Group
Okay.
number 1, yes.
Yeah, great.
We had in the first round, we had a bit of a lack of communication, as we figured out, because actually, I think I misunderstood the task quite a bit, because I was not aware that we are not allowed to move the other pieces. It's just ourselves. And then the dynamic came into the play, and we were like moving each other's pieces around wherever we thought it is suitable and appropriate. So, and all of a sudden the picture was done. So more accidental rather than giving ourselves a good structure in the process. So we were pretty keen on just doing it. Also in the second round, it was of course helpful to have a target picture in place where we can hold on to and give ourselves an orientation. And we were a bit better in framing the puzzle accurately. That was a bit of a lag in the first round, because the frame was a bit bigger than the puzzle itself once we put it together. So we did a better job in the second round, and it was easier to be allowed to move the other pieces as well. So once you figure out that doesn't fit really, then you just take it and put it in place, which was obviously not allowed in the first round.
Yeah, thank you very much. And
That's
I
all.
see there's a Pranjal raising his hand.
Yeah, I had a clarifying question. When you said that you can't move the pieces, it means not move the pieces when they are in our column, or even once they are on the main frame, on the main puzzle board?
To be honest, if now I can change my hat from hat of the trainer to hat of your colleague, and you will provide this training, next time we will recommend you even don't, in the first round, don't allow even to speak people to each other.
Yeah.
But the key thing was not to move the pieces from the colleagues, right? In the first
Not
round.
move, yeah,
Only
not
mine.
move, not share, not speak.
Don't do anything just because.
Don't do anything. Only your personal task. Yeah.
But when we talk about improvements, I was really willing to stick to this rule, but I couldn't really remember what were mine on. So we need to mark them somehow. Or I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, that's actually true. I don't know.
And Waltraud and Marius, I'm not sure if it was a factor, but Dimitri and I had a poor internet, so they sort of did the task themselves, and they're not sure if that was helpful or not. I think they're being kind to us by not acknowledging that it's easier when it's 2 instead of 4 people moving things around in the board.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. And from group 2, what were your insights? And your thoughts about this?
Evgeny?
This time,
maybe I'll take over for Evgeny, as the internet is bad, right?
Okay.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. I mean, the second round gave for us much more energy due to one reason. We saw the target picture altogether, had the clear focus and clear alignment towards where we want to be at the end. This is the lowest right sticker, where the common picture in the second round caused the driving focus. And in this mood, we were much more able, as we haven't had to stick to a concrete process. Everybody was working very actively and in a very good mood and energy. So we could do parallel work, parallel thinking. Oh, my light is moving here. Interesting. And yeah, there was no limitation, so we could act freely. What we also considered and found out, maybe this was on purpose by you as trainers or not, the frame given was larger than the picture at the end. We did no learnings from the first round, and in the second round we did it the same way again. So we placed these kind of pictures in the far end corners, and then we had to move it back again. So we did one thing not, we did the learnings from the one to another one, which was interesting as well. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was not intentional. It was just placed together like table. But yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, we can keep it in mind when we continue to provide this training. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you very much for your learnings. And if we are just staying to exploring principles that we're discovering agile mindset through the values and principles and through some exercises. What do you think? This last exercise, which principle showed us? How we can name this principle? What do you guess? Which agile principle? Yeah.
Who do you ask me?
I ask all of you,
Okay.
but Werner, if you have some thoughts, of course, welcome to share.
It doesn't need so concrete plans, or it doesn't need so concrete to-dos for everybody, but it's possible, Agile, to work together on one task, something like this. I don't know.
Yeah, and to make people effective in working for one task, one complicated task, what is important? What is the principle regarding people could lie inside this this effectiveness? What principle was in the second task? But don't. So, what principle we didn't keep in the first round, but we keep in the second round? Yeah, Werner, please.
I mean, it's kind of alignment. We had the clear picture where we want to go, so and we were aligned towards this picture.
We are aligned with this picture, yeah. And
my
maybe
criteria
more.
Didn't fit. My criteria of the working place and the picture didn't fit together.
Yeah, sorry, it was unintentional. Yeah, yeah, and maybe more. It was only one. It was only one difference between first round and second round. Only that you saw this picture, or something was changed in your working style.
I have to say, our group didn't respect the rules of the first round. Not so.
Yeah, we suspect this. Yeah, and not following the rules bring you to wrong to wrong conclusion. Yeah. Okay, I can share with you what we tried to add in this task.
It's the principle of that's yours and that's mine.
Yes. Yes.
Get off mine.
We tried to create the task that could put you in experiment to find some core principles. Yeah. And in this task with the puzzle, at the first round, we tried to create situation when you work with you alone. So you was not in team, but in group. It was group working. And on the second round, we show you the final picture. So we were transparent about the result. In the first round, we are not transparent, and you don't have this alignment, didn't have this alignment. In the second round, we were transparent about the results, and you were transparent about your working, about your resources, about your thoughts. And even if someone, I don't know who it was, showed the final picture even for first round, but creating the whole puzzle in the first round took about 7 for 8 minutes, and in the second round it was 4 minutes, even less than 4 minutes. So you increase your speed in twice, only including transparency in your work. So to be transparent, it's next principle regarding people. And if we collect all the principles of today together, we see these 6 principles. So agile principles regarding people, it's not a comprehensive list. Maybe we can find more principles, but there are the core principles. At the beginning of the training, we explore with Anita trust, personal safety, and respect. Yeah, in this exercise, and Mary give you some additional thoughts about this. And then you had okay, thank you. I can show my screen, yeah, to be on page, everyone on page. Do you see now my screen?
When we will see on the record, we will see all slides.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, thank you for supporting this convenience. Okay, now you can see on Mirrorboard, and also you can see in our Zoom room these 6 principles regarding people: trust, personal safety, respect, focus, sustainable pace, and transparency. And remember, focus was about multitasking, and we include multitasking because multitasking is a part of our life. You have to be multitasked in the second and even in the third exercise, but remember that staying in the focus give you more effectivity than spread your focus everywhere. So we explore principles regarding people today, and tomorrow we will bring further and explore agile principles regarding work, also through experiments, through your exercises. And on the beginning, we explored agile values. And as you see, and we make this bridge that each agile principle connected to the values that individuals and interaction is important, working solution is important, customer collaboration is important, and be responsible to change is important, more than be stable, yeah, in agile way. Okay, and now it's time to go to the last exercise. It's even more no exercise, but some reflection.
Not exercise, the
Not
last
exercise.
part of yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, this is the quieter taking away the learnings part of it. And after our 4 tasks this morning and diving into all the principles related to people, trust, respect, personal safety, and also processes related to people, focusing, sustainable pace, transparency, because in the last exercise, we saw there was transparency about the process. You could show your pieces, you could move it, you could talk, you had the end picture. So what we'd like you to do is just guide you through something that you are all no doubt familiar with, is to do our step of transfer, reflection and transfer. And how we want to do it is collective time of 35 minutes. We have split you up into pairs this time, taking one person from each group so that you have a chance to interact with the persons from the other group. We'd like you to take first 10 minutes, maximum 10 minutes, take as little as you need to write down your own notes on, and these 3 headings are just to guide you. To reflect on your own values and principles. What are your practices? What are you leaning towards? What's your tendency? What are you biased for? What makes it work for you? What doesn't? So to really look into what is your setting currently, and how do these personal settings, how do they compare with Agile principles? And I think Werner said that in the first task, that respect and trust are basic for sure, but we'd like you to look at all 6 of those principles and really see how much does that compare with your own personal setting. How does your present mindset, the way it is, impact your way of life? And is there anything from that reflection that you say, oh, I'd like to work on this more along the lines of the Agile mindset? And what are your reasons for bringing about your personal change? So this is really your own notes, which is preparation for the second stage, where you sit with your reflection partner, and Marie will send you into rooms for that, and exchange what your learnings have been and listen to the other one for further learnings. And the last stage of that is, do we still have the transfer canvas? Yes, that's the sheet next to, will you show that? Yes, that's what we're calling the transfer canvas, where you can write down your final takeaways, if you want to, for yourself, about what you want to do with whatever has come your way. So 30 to 35 minutes for everything. And basically you can stay in this room and make your personal notes so that we can still look at you. And when you are done, if you give us a hands up, we can start sending the pairs that have finished their individual notes for the reflection. How does that sound?
And
you
for
want to
pairs,
go back to the slide of the, reflection slide with the questions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, here is the questions.
Yes.
And you can choose or copy for yourself this transfer canvas. Yeah, and to fill it by stickers from your pair. Mm-hmm. And yeah, if you will be ready earlier, just say us and we can go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just a second, Natalia, just for clarity, the exchange with your partner is really an exchange. It's a sharing. You don't need to make any notes of that exchange. It's after your exchange with the partner that if there are any insights that are also triggered further by that conversation, or that have further strengthened something for you, then use your individual sheet to put down your own notes. Yeah? You're not expected to come back and show anything to us, but we want you to come back for the debrief because we want your feedback for day 1 and to prepare for day 2. And we are more or less in time, actually, exactly. So we will finish by 5 o'clock as planned.
So I'm ready to open the rooms.
No,
any
not
questions
yet.
now?
Mary, not yet. We will let them stay here and they make their individual notes. And when they are ready, they can give us a hands up. And that's when we send you in your pairs. You don't need to be in the pair for making your individual note.
Maybe on this time I could pause the record. What is it?
Sure.
Here.
Okay, then.
Hello.
Hello, everybody.
Definitely too short.
Too short.
Okay. See?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I hope it was not too short. We are kind of maybe crazily trying to chase the calendar and be done in time. But this
The
is a
clock
good
is always
input that
ahead.
maybe not always calendar chasing is needed. But it's our first time to try and see what's the energy level, etc. Okay, last leg of our training for today. And the what we want you to do is, Natalia, will you invite everybody to the Miro board near you
Yes.
on our debrief sheet? So Natalia is going to drag us to where she is on the Miro board. And what I'd like all of you to do is take your sticky notes and put down your thoughts under what did you like, what went well, and what would you like more or less for tomorrow or also in connection with today. So let's take 2-3 minutes for everybody to put down their thoughts. And the invitation is really to give us feedback, constructive, concrete, critical feedback, because that whole topic of mindset is something that we are also trying to figure out how best to bring it into our trainings. And when you're done filling up the sheet, maybe you just move your cursor away from the sheet. That way we know when the sheet is more or less empty of cursors that you are done. And then we'll look at it together just to make sure we get the pieces. And also some cards are very curious that I would like to know more about. And yeah, you can populate it around on the sides if there's not place on the designated space.
And
No.
about time with your sparring partner, we can left breakout rooms after now. We can close our training official way, but we can still left our breakout rooms and invite you if you have time. Just continue your conversation.
Okay, I think we are pretty much done. I see. Okay. So let's look at, there's still somebody writing. I can see Sandra, right? Concentrated. No, and I wasn't looking at the Miro board. I was looking at the video image. Okay, thank you everybody for populating our board. Okay, I'm just going to look through them, and Maria and Natalia, I invite you to ask questions on any of the cards if they are not self-explanatory. Small, very effective exercises, again about exercises with enough time for reflection. I especially like this card, task 2 and 3 had clear instructions compared to last time because we had tried it out in the ACM, I think. And so obviously in the second iteration, we've gotten better at structuring it. Structuring of tasks and reviews has been appreciated. The amount of exercises, trainer team, slides, visualization, and the discussion about complexity was very helpful. Team and Miro board, thank you again. Good fluent cooperation between coaches. Thank you for that. And just in earlier, we were saying that the four of, we have not met in person yet. Our relationship has only been developed online for Birgit and myself with Natalia and Maria. And yet, if I quote Birgit, it feels like we know each other for very long and we are friends. So we were just marveling at how connections can also be made online. Yes, great training, great opportunity that we can, and again, coming because of COVID, the silver lining on the dark cloud, that this is actually possible. And it's such a wealth that we can train and practice this out with you. Exercises help to reflect on personal mindset. That's really good to know. Excellent atmosphere, structured day one to get into the agile mindset topic. Thank you. Seamless handover between the three. Done. Thank you very much. Visiting animal. I cannot see who you are. It doesn't show me your full name. You're still on the card. Moderation presentation has been appreciated. Thank you for your preparation and time, and thank you all but so much for giving your time being here. And the reflection after task helps to develop new ideas and gives ideas for practical using, and that's the wealth of our Coverdale ways. Like what is built into the design, the learning that is built into every aspect of the design. I do realize that. Super design of the day, great mix of input, models, concepts, focus on relevant content, and facilitation, professional and warm-hearted. Thank you very much for all your positive feedback. And now let's look at what we have to work on. More time for reflection and sharing. We hear that. And that's definitely going to be taken into the next iteration of it, and also tomorrow in day 2. We'll keep an eye on that. More real life examples and more stories and case studies. And that's something that I think we need to consider and see what we can do with our tasks and also our discussions to tailor them around that. More discussion in the whole group about our experience and observations on the customer side, which is again related to real life and bringing our real life into the content of the training. Let's have an exchange about agile training with your customer. So this card might need a little more explanation for me. I don't quite catch.
It's more, let's have a discussion what you already do. Let's say, what is Austria doing with what kind of agile management training you already
okay.
doing? So more about, about selling the seminar
Great.
and experiences by this side. Yeah.
Thank you, Wolfgang.
I know.
Yeah.
It's not priority. I mean.
No, we'll keep that in mind for tomorrow, because we'll have time maybe tomorrow, or for our next discussion on Agile, Birgit, that we could plan for.
At the end, that we have a look
at the end of the day. Yes. Yes. Much more time at the end of the day together with my sparring partner, and that need we can fulfill, as Natalia said today. Really sorry for rushing you, maybe what felt like rushing you, obviously, and we'll try to make that up. Yeah, and really well noted that we can't take for granted the energy levels. And this end of the day, the reflection and transfer moment, it's a personal learning for me to not gloss over it, but to really give it as much importance as the tasks and the inputs and everything. So thank you so much for highlighting that one again. More room for active replanary discussions and elaboration. Again, that's also related to having more time for reflection, connected to our lives and case studies and stories, and also time for reflection. Recap of meaning of personal safety. Yes, Klaus?
Me too.
Yeah, it's also
not
related.
mine, but me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was finding when I was reflecting on the day that I don't get it, that point.
Yeah.
I know what it means, but what does it mean regarding to the topic? I don't know.
And for me, a very important point, a very new point in this day, a very important point.
Okay, thank you. And maybe we can, Natalia, maybe we can take a few minutes today now, just as soon as I finish this, to go a bit into that, since it's our topic from today. And the last card is to translate it into Coverdale language, to use Coverdale tools in order to describe and clarify the Agile concept. Would you like to elaborate just a bit more on that card? Because I think it's very interesting. Whoever has authored that card. Evgeny, was it you? You're on mute, Evgeny.
We can't hear you.
You need to unmute yourself.
Could you switch on your microphone, Evgeny, please?
Sorry, it's from me. I have seen very much connections, many connections with our Coverdale tools, for example, and thematic approach, and we can use the model of cooperation also. And these principles of Agile, they can be described in Coverdale language with through Coverdale principles also. And we can give our instruments to these of cooperation model, where are these principles of Agile principles. I need to translate it in Coverdale language, so I mean, and it has a very good connection with Coverdale tools and Coverdale approach.
Thank you, Evgeny. Okay, I think I've looked through all the cards, right? So
it is a long, I can speak about it 30 minutes, but I'm for it.
Evgeny, we are going to
I
continue
finished.
developing this. Yeah, but we really invite you actually to join the small focus group that will look at the development of this design further and other agile related topics. And I think the point that you bring about making it with the identity of Coverdale, with the language, with the vocabulary and the tools, I think it will be very priceless for us if you can spare us the time and come in at some points for these discussions. And we know we can reach out to you.
How it can be described in Coverdale terms, and it will be then Coverdale Agile, not Agile, then Coverdale Agile, very specific, and to the truth, much more better than Agile on self. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. And now I hand it to Natalia and Maria to share a bit more about the personal safety recap.
Yeah, thank you very much. And thank you for your sharing and for your insights. And let me ask you, if so how safe you felt yourself in during all of this training? We had a lot of some challenging exercise, and we intentionally modeling the situation with a failure. How did you feel yourself, safe or unsafe? You are mute, Anita.
Yeah, we could use a gesture to say how safe did you feel? Did you feel solid safe like this or like this?
Klaus, can you share, please? What?
It's in my personal situation. It's economic unsafe.
Economic unsafe.
Economic.
In the training, you were asked if you felt safe or not safe. In this training here, this day.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And yeah,
I have a wish. Excuse me. It's the personal safety is a very important thing for me. Would you like to, or would you mind starting with this next morning, tomorrow, and not discussing it now? Within
now it's time.
2 minutes or so.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And thank you very much for this example.
If it's all right for all.
Yes, yeah, because we want to be on time. And thank you very much for this example. When in the outside world you felt extremely unsafety, how we can create the space for people inside the space they become felt safety and increase their ability to stay against this unsafety. How we can strange these people.
Let's dig into that tomorrow morning. I think this is a good thing to start.
Yeah, I would like to support that, and maybe we could put one more aspect in there, because I hear it like it's safe or not safe. Is it a digit? Is it 0 or 1? Or I don't know about these. Maybe it's true for all the others. Is it there or not, or is there? I don't know.
I mean,
I would like to talk about that as well tomorrow.
Like digital 0 or 1, yeah.
No, it's not. It's a principle, but we discuss about this tomorrow. So don't get into the discussion now. Let's do it tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Wolfgang had raised his hand. Please.
Yeah, I just want to add, everyone know we need this safety stuff. The question is for me, what kind of difference is between an agile team and a normal team? So what are the the additional challenges an Agile team has to manage, and therefore what kind of safety I needed. So safety we all need in the teamwork. But the question is from my side, what are the additional competences is needed to be an Agile team? And therefore, what kind of safety is needed to live the competencies? So this is, I would say, is the difference we have to point out. But anyway, we see us tomorrow. Thank you.
Yeah, let's discuss it tomorrow.
So this is also something what we should take into consideration for tomorrow. So the competences for an Agile team, we are talking about principles, how this is linked together. Probably we do this tomorrow morning. Thank you, but now let's close it. Otherwise we continue at half an hour to bring in the point.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I see that you have a great interest for tomorrow, so I stop the record and see you tomorrow in the morning. Thank